4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live! Hello and welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the tremendously talented and handsome Mr. Justin Thomas James.
I already did this.
I'm also here with the tremendously gorgeous and fantastically everything, Ms. Jo Fallak.
One more time!
And we are here this Wednesday night with a new little one-shot adventure we like to call One Horse Town. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 8 o'clock on the INVICTUS stream. My name, of course, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, as I said, and we are so happy to be here. We run role-playing games every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. It is, of course, going to be an 18-plus show. That means if you're not comfortable with no-no words such as pee-pee, poo-poo, and some of the words Joe said last week.
I said bum.
You said a few different bum words, and they were okay. I loved it. But yeah, if you're not comfortable with swear words, then that's fine. You don't have to watch, but before you do, you make sure to like that video. Liking it by doing a little thumbs up.
Boink!
Or as we already made the joke before the stream started, it's a grimace and a smile.
Was that what you were talking about?
It was better in the moment. It was better in the moment.
It's like a wink and a smile. Balloon, grimace, and smile. Yeah, make sure you like the YouTube video. I like that little dance, Justin. Because it makes us feel really good for multiple reasons. Also, if you are watching this and you are chatting in the YouTube chat, get out of there and head over to the Discord link in the description and head down to One Horse Town and you can chat with the best of them. We got Mike, Wolf and Locke, Michael and Brianna, Colin, John, and other people. Here for tonight's
We got
game.
Zia.
And
We
Zia.
got Carly.
We got Carly.
All the beautiful regulars out there. Hi.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And if you're shy
beautiful
and you're not sure if you want to dip
regulars.
a tiny big toe into the wading pool of Discord, please join us. Very nice.
Do it.
We
Also,
love them.
if you're not just part of the Discord, join the Facebook group. Facebook group is the place where we actually do most of the talking during the week when we're not here on a Wednesday night. It is the place where we hang out, chat, share stories, share RPG ideas, share images, and if you're part of it, you have a chance to win the most valuable post. The most valuable post is the post of the week that we distinguish amongst the rest. The ones that we say, you're better than everybody else. And this week, I would like to award the most valuable post to the one, the only, Mr. Mark David.
You kept this as a surprise from us.
Oh, I'm getting some weird echo. Oh, I don't know.
A little bit of echo when you back off the mic, but that's okay. It's just for me, I think.
No, because I just got a thing that says...
Michael and Brianna said
I
you have some weird echo. But just hop right up there on that mic.
I'm hopping right up and we'll figure it out as the game goes on, I guess. God, technical issues.
What post earned this prestigious award?
Well, see, I gave it to Mark David, but Mark David's not actually the one who won it. See, Mark David is the little bitty baby that was born on the 16th by our own Mr. Terry Erickson. So thank you, Terry Erickson, for having a baby and being the first baby of 2019 for the stream, because we also had Zoph and Rob, and we also had Johnny and Laura. I don't remember Johnny's wife's name. I've never met her, so I don't feel bad about that. But if I have,
do they have their little one?
They do.
We should bring them a casserole.
I'm gonna bring them 2 casseroles. What the fuck is that?
Way to one up me.
Do I give it to Mark David here? Should we just start
Terry
him
Erickson.
like an early ETF for XP?
What's ETF?
Oh wait, not an ETF. Like education's fund.
John.
ERSP?
An EFT? Electronic fund transfer?
I can't remember.
Do you
what
guys see
it
these
stands for.
screenshots?
I know, that's what I was saying. What the fuck is that? When you were playing with your thing in Voice Meter, did you play with it in Voice Meter?
Nope.
Okay.
Exchange traded
Do you want me
fund.
to bump up that gate?
Maybe. Just a bit.
Oh.
Justin, am I still echoing? Or is it only when I get off the mic?
You're still echoing mostly when you get off the mic.
It wasn't like
I
that
bumped
last
up
week,
that
though.
gate.
She's turned up her gate. Is that better now?
Still the same.
That's interesting.
Bummer.
Yeah, but is it like when you guys are listening, like I don't know what the audience is listening. It's fine for me. Like I can get by it. It just kind of sounds like this whole game's going to happen in a tunnel. But for the audience, is it bearable?
Well, Michael and Brianna said I have some weird echo. So, am I still echoing people?
Great question. Justin, do you have us muted on Discord?
Yeah,
I have you muted on Google Hangouts. Is where I've got you muted.
Okay. What about now? Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
So elaborate.
I think that might be a bit better. Am I still echoing? I shouldn't be echoing right now. Technically, I shouldn't be echoing right now. Tell me
I do not hear an echo.
Okay.
Oh wait. Talk
a
again.
Little bit right there. Yeah, I know. I can see it peaking because I got her mic. That's fine. I'll stay quiet.
Colin says it might just be me, but Harlan seems to be almost half the volume of Joe and Justin. And they say there is still an echo, and then Carly doesn't hear an echo. So maybe it's all in your fucking heads, guys.
It's all in your fucking heads, guys. I just turned myself up too, so maybe I'm louder now. I don't really know.
That sounds good. Yeah.
That sounds better, Justin?
It sounds better to me.
My volume was turned up. It sounds better.
Oh, yeah. Wolfenlock agrees. Yep. You're actually good.
Mm-hmm. Better. Okay, you know what? I was playing with my gain right before I left, so maybe
Don't play with that gain, you know?
I like
Who's the gain?
I like getting in the bathtub and just playing with my gain. And experimenting with my gain and seeing what they say.
There's a rubber ducky and it's just got ticker tape on the side. This is gain.
Well, now this is Joe is echoing.
What?
No, Joe's not echoing. Not for me.
Colin.
Colin, you're wrong. Not an echo.
What do we want to talk about? Gen Con?
Yeah, talk about Gen Con.
Are all of our games sold out?
Yeah.
They might be.
No, I don't think so. Let's check.
So, wait, is there space in the games? Did I miss the deadline to play?
You're not playing our games. Did you think you were playing our games? No,
I thought I was playing your games.
No, you have to buy tickets for the games.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I guess I'll go play at Monty Cook and Shauna Germain's table.
You better fucking get some tickets because I bet you're sold out. Like 99% of the Call of Cthulhu games that are being run apparently are all sold out.
I'm just gonna walk around like a desperate drunk guy at the end of the night at a bar.
Yeah.
And just be like, "Hey, do you have a spot for me? Can I hang out with you guys?"
No, you're not, because someone's gonna take you in to their table and it's
come to my table.
Come here, and it's just one guy. He's like, I definitely didn't spike this drink for sure.
Let's do this.
The game
I'm so ready.
is
what are we playing?
Drink this mixture I've concocted.
Oh, I love drinking. Let's do it.
Speaking of which, we're going to be doing a pub night on the Saturday night. Please stay tuned. Details TBA. But, probably, well, you know what? We should do a poll on Facebook, make an event like last time so that we can figure out how many people we're going to need space for, because there could be a big crew of us. There was about one of us in Buffalo last year, so we might need a little bit more space than that. I think there might be maybe 15 or 20 broodlings coming.
You keep saying there's a lot, but I think it's just I don't know. I think people are gonna chicken out the last minute. We're intimidating people for some reason.
Ooh, Dennis fighting words. You gotta prove him wrong.
Chicken.
Should we just rent out a Chuck E. Cheese room?
Oh my God.
Have lots of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got beer at Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Yeah, they got so much beer at Chuck E. Cheese.
If they don't, we'll bring it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they do.
Shut up.
You don't serve beer? You just pull it. It's like a mini keg.
You're not my mom. There, I think I figured out my issue.
I'm so proud of
Jeff
you.
M, you mentioned that you could hear me better in your left ear, but not my right. That should be fixed now. I don't know why, but it should be fixed. No, you know why? For some reason, my two channels on whatever, only one was going up, and then I just went to my settings and turned it off and on again.
I just want everyone to look at and appreciate. Here, I got my nails did, y'all.
Look at those. What color?
It's
Are
like
they
a The color was called something about Prosecco. It's fancy.
Champagne.
Champagne
Sparkly wine.
from Prosec.
Harlan and I are going to be in Europe next week. Should also mention that.
Yeah, let's just gloat about our vacation. We're going to Germany. I know John, whose birthday was this week, he's in Germany. But I don't think he's in or near Berlin.
So
It's not a very big country.
It's true.
Yeah, it's not very big. We're gonna run out of things to do, I'm sure.
Totally. We'll just have to play some RPGs.
Hey, we should bring that 2-person RPG for when we're in France. We'll just hole up in our Airbnb and get drunk and pretend we're in the army.
Okay.
That LARP, Gunner and Sarge.
Totally.
Let's
Done.
do it.
Done. I sound like such a chav. What's a chav?
Chad, maybe?
I thought it was Chad. That's like, yeah. I guess I did make that voice, didn't I? I don't remember what I said, but I remember making that voice. How's the echo? Is it gone now-ish?
I think it sounds
It's gone for me.
good.
Wow. Well
What?
done, guys.
High fives.
I fixed it.
Good job.
One day we'll figure it
real
all
good.
out. Good. Now I can focus back on what the hell we were talking about. What was it? Our European vacation?
RPGs?
RPGs, Gen Con. Yeah, all of our games are sold out. But I guess apparently if you haven't gotten in on one of our games, you now can walk around with Justin. So
You
He's doing-
and
Just
Justin
walk.
can do a pickup game. Just bring your dice.
actually, you know what, Justin? You're a narrator now. You're probably going to have tons of people to
Have groupies.
meet, group
Right,
with, and
yes,
to
yes.
chippy chap. And my book will be on
Yes.
sale at Gen Con.
It's true. It's true. And you know that voice actors and narrators are very famous all the time. Everybody
It's
knows voice actors for everything.
Everyone knows Orlando Brown. Orlando
Which is
Bloom?
Whatever
your
happened to
real
Orlando
name.
Bloom?
He's dead
I
now.
think he got pregnant.
He got pregnant. And
Did he
had,
get pregnant?
He had little rosebuds.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think
Cool.
Orlando Bloom's
Well-
actually like a subspecies of human where you have like a pouch in the front, like seahorse, and he got
yes,
pregnant,
yes.
and so he had to take a very, very, very long bath and just kind of blah, blah, his abdomen just shuddered and spat out lots of baby Legoluses.
This is actually
I'm surprised they
100
didn't see
million
a 60
percent
minutes
true.
on that.
Yeah, it's
Was there a 60 minutes on that? Or?
well, I think because of the celebrity paparazzi type thing, they just try to keep it on a down low.
Right. Hey, speaking of the down low.
That was a good segue, actually. That was actually a really good segue. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Can you
Do it again.
Do you have another one in you?
Let's see. Ooh. Oh my. That one got some left.
Also got some lift.
Oh, let's just cut it off there. Fart noises with Justin. Hey,
Hey,
speaking
that's
of
what you should do next stream.
fart noises with Justin. I got 4 terabytes of fart noises, and I gotta share them with you. We got fart juicy flatulence.
Ooh.
We got some rumbly garbage farts. Oh well, if that's not enough for you, how about some wet farts slowed down, flubby, fat, airy?
That one
Cheers,
sounded
ladies
like
and gentlemen.
that one sounded like it needed
Peter
to get out.
rectum.
Wrecked him, damn near killed him. That sounded like that one that needed to get out.
What can't your intestines do?
Apparently, processed dairy.
That is
Soon they're going to be
fucking-
narrating my books.
That's worth some money.
I think
yeah.
I'm gonna have to write a book now where you can incorporate those sounds. The fart
Oh,
that
please.
needed to live.
You have to send those as like a mini soundboard for Harlan so that whenever I'm feeling like emotional and cryy, you can just whip out your phone and start playing
I'll just
me
fart
some
for real.
fart. Why not? Right?
I'm thinking the real Yeah. Okay. So I think. So we talked about making a rap song that would use really like juvenile words like pee-pee and poo-poo and boobies and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't think we talked about that on the stream, but we definitely talked about it IRL. Where it's like, yo, I got a big pee-pee. So I'm thinking we go the other way with it too, and I write like a really serious story, like, you know, that talks about like farting. Be like, Martha walked into the living room and let out a fart. As she walked across the stone floor, the click of her heels echoed with each toot that came from between her cheeks. Roger was taking a poo-poo in the bathroom, and he stood up and wiped, knowing that she would leave him.
Like Nathan for you when he went and had the fucking blood test done, and he had a fart machine embedded in the phlebotomist, and he was like, are you sure this is okay? She's like, yeah, it's fine. Every time she like went to do something else, to like, she's putting a needle in this man's arm, but she's like constantly making fart sounds.
So
and he's
good.
like, oh no, that's all right. She's like, oh, so sorry, I'm feeling really sick right now. She's like, fart sound. A good bit.
Farts are
Nothing
funny.
wrong with farts, guys.
Oh my god. I've laughed so much over these sounds already, and I've had them for less than 24 hours.
Can I have one more, please?
Farts bring joy.
Sure, yeah. Give me a number between 1 and 40.
31.
I want 20.
Fuck, okay. All right. 1, 2. I'll just start. I'll just assume. Oh, there's
Just guess.
52 items. Sorry, 1 and 52.
God bless you.
I can go from the back.
Yeah, let's do 51.
Okay. This is wet farts in shower, tubular sound. It's a long one. It's over a minute and 20 seconds.
How many people are in there? I love how you can hear the room.
Yo, David, I need some farts. Okay, I'll give you No, I need a minute and 20 of farts, uninterrupted. I got a big scene coming up.
You can hear their proximity to the mic too. You got one a little closer.
There's two.
Having a conversation.
Oh God. How can
We're gonna
we
listen to the
compete
whole
with
minute,
this?
28 seconds.
No, God, I'm gonna die.
Harlan's Justin's got, what did you say, 4 terabytes of sound effects? And only 2
Yeah,
terabytes
so-
of those are farts.
Yeah, only 2. We didn't get the full package. Oh man. There you
That's
have
good
it. Yeah,
stuff.
that was 51.
Thank you so much for that.
And ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen, next week.
thank Jeff Hayes, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff.
Narrator extraordinary.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Hayes.
Um,
The sound of ass cheeks clapping.
so next week, Justin is doing a Justin Reads, and then after we're gonna.
Uh-oh.
But
Did-
what?
You just cut out there.
Did I?
Yeah. I think it kind of was your gate or something like that.
All right. I was going to say next week Justin is doing a Justin Reads. The week after he is doing. Well, we don't know what we're doing the week after yet. Might be nothing. But next week, Justin Reads. Stay tuned. So there'll be lots of fart noises.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I do really like the idea of just doing a fart noise stream, but that'll only take us for at least 2 hours. So we'll need something to fill the last hour.
No, I feel like you need to narrate, like Harlan was saying,
I'll
you have
write
to
you a fart
narrate
story.
a story for 3 hours that uses as many of your sound effects as possible.
That would be really great. The only problem is it's a big library. It's okay. I'll think about that. I'll definitely incorporate sound effects at some point. But hey, if you guys have any ideas about what you would like the Justin Reads to be about, I'm open to ideas. We could do a sci-fi theme. We could do fantasy theme. We could do another horror theme because those are always fun. With your suggestions, and let me know. Maybe someone would be willing to start a thread for me in the Facebook group. For some experience points, if someone would to agree to that. I'll choose someone by the end of the night if there are any volunteers.
You'll be voluntold.
That sounds like something that you would say, Joe.
Me?
You've been voluntold. No, what I'm saying is that in case like 1 million people try to volunteer, I'll be like, okay, we can't have 1 million people starting threads because that's just going to overwhelm Facebook. And we don't want to hurt Facebook. It's our
Facebook
friend.
has never hurt us ever, except for all the leaks and stuff.
Just leaks. But
Justin, is your PC this
Right.
evening going to be very lactose intolerant?
Oh, why do you ask, Joe?
Wants to add
Are
some
you
fart
hoping
sound
for
effects.
it to be a little lactose intolerant?
No. Jeff just said you guys need to add some kind of algorithm to add random farts to your RPGs. And I just thought, since you're playing a prospector.
If only in a random die rolling game we had some way to calculate a random die roll.
I have no idea how.
Okay. All right. Wait.
Let's
I know.
abandon the
Wait,
idea immediately.
Why don't you roll a die? Wait. Oh, yeah. No, that's a dumb idea.
Stupid.
Wait. What if you roll a die?
A die? What do you mean? Like we're gonna a die? Ooh,
Okay,
look, I'm
okay.
Justin. I'm gonna roll
right,
something that
All right.
kills me.
We're going to do something real quick and then we're going to get into the game. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to have fun.
Okay.
Just going to be a 2-minute segment. 12 items. I need you to roll a 1d12. Okay.
Okay.
Joe, you go ahead.
That is a 6, my friend.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, these are designed. Okay, we've got 39 items. Harlan, roll 2d20
Done.
and add them up.
Oh, 18.
18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay.
8.
Oh, well, there's only one sound in this one. Are you ready? I might have to turn this down.
We're ready.
All right. This is radio death squeal. Harsh squealing screech.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Good game,
There you go.
Justin.
Thanks. That was a lot of fun.
Can I borrow
Back to
this
you.
terabyte? Because I could use a lot of these for like movie sound effects, trailers.
Well, technically it
Don't tell
is
Jeff.
a. Yeah, well, I mean, we are live streaming right now, so. Well, yeah, no.
Totally
This is the
no.
thing that maybe I can use. Anyways, hey.
Justin, I'm winking.
Oh. I'm winking back. What are you winking about?
I'm winking about actually
SpaghettiOs.
taking the.
You're winking about actually taking it. Okay.
All
I
right.
guess there's nothing I can do now.
Ladies and gentlemen, who's ready to play the game tonight?
Me. What system are we using?
Eat. Slap.
What system are we using?
Good question. Tonight's system will be a surprise. I will randomly assign a successful number, and you'll roll a d20, and you'll succeed on that. The system's going to be Harlan based.
Oh, it's the Harlan system.
It's the HAR.
I like that.
Means hilarious and really
Robust.
long and neurotic.
Oh.
Just like me. All right. Tonight's game takes place in the 1860s, probably. During the gold rush. Without further ado, we bring you One Horse Town. Utah sun beats down on your backs as you head along the river. Water, blue, flows beside, babbling and causing a flow of water around your feet as you splash in. Wash the grime from your hands and arms and face. It's been a long slog down this way, down the south part of this lone river. Gold is the name on your tongue. Gold is the name that floats in your mind. Gold. We look to you first, Southbound Bill. You stand at the river. The water is only ankle high. Stand up and stretch. What does Southbound Bill look like?
Southbound Bill has a big, long, white and gray beard. He's got skin that used to be alabaster white, but now it is a rough, leathery hide, dark brown. He almost looks like one of them native folks that live in the hills. But no, Southbound Bill comes from way up north in Montana, which is why he's called Southbound, because, well, if you live in Montana, you pretty much can only go south. There's not much above Montana, if you know what I mean. And so, Southbound Bill has traveled a lot, but despite the fact that he's always been moving, he's got a nice big belly, and in his white shirt, he's got some bean stains that run down alongside his beard, and if one were to look carefully, they would probably see some beans themselves left in his beard, possibly sprouting a bean sprout or two.
Southbound Bill, you stand up to the bright Utah sun and move out towards the side of the river. Burping as you do, catching your breath. As you do, you spot a figure approaching from north of the river. Walks with a heavy hunch, and as your eyes adjust, by the name of Mrs. Powell. Mrs. Powell, who are we looking at?
Well, Mrs. Powell is an older woman. She's, north of 60. She's got a couple teeth missing, and the one she's got are mighty yellow. Face is tracked with wrinkles, deep lines in her face, showing all the expression she's had over her long life. Most of them kind of a mean one. She's got tangles of gray hair and a great big floppy hat under which her chin just kind of pokes out. She's got a couple of raccoons on her person, just kind of clinging on to her body, and she's got a petticoat that's kind of coarsely torn and heavy with water and dirt. She's dragging a sledge behind her. She's got a rope fashioned as a harness, and she's just dragging this big sledge full of who knows what. It's covered in a waxed canvas. Ever so often she looks back over her shoulder at it, just to make sure it's still there. And a couple of birds circle overhead at her. She looks up at the sky and shakes her fist at him. Keeps walking down the riverbank.
And as Mrs. Powell walks down the riverbank, she spots a large man in a stained white shirt, beans sprouting from his beard, and the two of you lock eyes for a moment, each slightly aware of the other's reason for being here, for there is not much of a reason for two lone people to be off in the Utah wilderness along a lone river, save the flyer that you each have in your pocket. A flyer that I have put in the Hangouts, which reads, "Seeking gold? Look no further than Blaketown. Gold for every visitor. Follow the West River south. You can't miss the sign." And both of y'all have been traveling along the West River south for the past few days. That sign. Dead, finding each other.
You there, young man?
You're a woman.
Where are you headed?
Why should I tell you?
Well, you don't look like you live around these parts, and I'm curious if you're going the same way I am.
Why are you looking for a traveling partner?
No, not as such. I kind of got my hands full, as you can see.
A couple of raccoons just scrabble around her body.
And so Miss Powell is lugging a large sled, you said? What is it?
Sledge. It's like a sled, but it's got a G and an E on the end.
Isn't that like a sledgehammer?
No, I think it's an Old West kind of version of a sled, but it's big.
Oh, yeah, I know about sledges. My ma used to pull me on a sledge back when I lived in Montana. But, of course, over there we call it a sled. Boy, things are confusing in Utah.
Yes, they are, indeed.
Miss Powell readjusts the straps on her harness and starts pulling the sled closer.
Now, how long you been out here, son?
And so Southbound Bill kind of just turns alongside her, doesn't offer to help, kind of walks a little staggeredly beside. Oh, what was the question? I was distracted by a voice in my head.
I was just asking you, how long you been out here?
Well, that's a good question. You describe out here. Do you mean this river? You mean Utah outside in general? Well, I'd say I haven't been inside a house in 4 months. 4 months since I've been inside a house. That ain't no joke. I'm seriously very drained from being in the sun. But I don't like being in closed spaces, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I can reckon I do know what you mean.
I'll tell you what I'm doing out here. I feel like I can trust you and your coons.
You can trust me, but I wouldn't trust Macy. She's a little sly one.
Which one, Macy?
Oh,
Which one? Which one?
She's actually not one of these ones. You'll see her later.
Oh, if you must know, I'm out here looking for gold. I could get me some gold. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to spend it on, but I'm going to find it. And boy, am I going to make me something good with all the money that I get from that. What are you out here for?
Mrs. Powell extends a bony arm and just raps on her ass with her knuckles, and you hear like a ting ting. She's got underneath her petticoats something metallic. I've been panning myself.
Well, then I guess we're in competition then, aren't we?
Only if you see it that way. Of course, if you were to get a gold nugget for I would. Well, who knows what might happen to you? Do you know anything
Is that
about...
a threat?
Oh, no, I would never do anything like that to a nice young boy like yourself.
Yeah, what about Maisie? Would Maisie do something like that to a nice young boy like myself? I cough up a glob of beans. And I chew it down again. We'll saving that for later.
Do you know anything about Blake Town, Mr. Oh, I didn't catch your name.
You want my name, do you? My name is Bill. They call me Southbound Bill on account of the fact that I've only ever traveled south in my life. Unless I was going northwest or north, well, no, mostly south.
Oh, so it's kind of just an average, like a law of averages. If
But
you
law of
average
averages.
out all
I just
your,
make sure that if I travel too far, if I travel 100
You gotta
kilometers,
turn around.
miles north, not kilometers. Who says kilometers?
go
That's
south.
ridiculous.
Well, that's a demon word.
That's a demon word right there. Yeah, I go south 200 kilometers, miles, damn it, just to make up for it.
Out, demon! Out! Out of you!
I
She
just can't
picks
stop. I'm
She
sorry.
picks a weed from the riverbed and starts whacking you with it.
Get out of this man!
Okay, it's gone. Miles.
Bill, give me a roll a 20. Give me a
Oh, wait, there's a GM for this game? I thought this was the walking down a riverbed game.
This is walking, making up shit, and talking like lunatics. Game. 5. I got a 5.
Yeah, she knocks you harder than you think, and you sort of stumble back over a branch and fall down. And for a second, you think you land near a log. You bump your head on something sharp, and you turn around. And you notice that there's a sort of a log jutting up from the side of the river, but it looks man-made and looks broken at its stalk, as if something planted here.
You cut out there a little bit, partner.
You fall next to what you
Yeah.
think is a log at first, and as you look around, you realize that it's actually a broken stand. It looks like a man-made thing was here, and it was broken.
Like a signpost?
Perhaps.
Like a horse, like a horse tie.
Like a hitch, you
Older.
mean?
Hey, don't be correcting me. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, hitch. Yeah, like one of those. What do you make of this, miss? What was your name?
Correct you all I won't I? My name's Mrs. Powell.
Mrs. Powell. Is there a Mr. Powell? What's so funny?
Maybe you get to meet him sometime, sonny.
And as you look
Well,
past him, give
I
me a
hope he's
roll,
as charming
Mrs.
as
Powell.
I will do so. Did you say a D20?
Yeah, D20.
Mrs. Powell got a 10.
Yeah, you go to look past him or help him up, whatever you want, and you notice the same thing. You notice that there's like splintered wood that's been like hammered into the ground, but broken only a few inches off the ground.
Golly. Now, as I was asking you your name, Mr. Bill, I was wondering if you were heading to the same place as me. Not that as I know I can trust you. More so I just don't know the countryside, you understand? Are you going to Blaketown?
You bet your bottom dollar I'm going to Blaketown.
I figured I wouldn't see anyone else along this river unless they was headed the same way I was. And so I'm looking down here at this place that you so misfortunately fell of entirely your own accord. And I see this broken signpost here, and I wondered.
And she pulls from the corset of her petticoats this smelly rag that says, "Seeking gold, look no further than Blaketown. Gold for every visitor. Follow the West River south. You can't miss the sign." And she extends a dirty, bedraggled finger, points at this awful parchment.
If we didn't miss the sign, maybe?
Sorry, I had something in my throat. Carry on.
I'm just saying, Mr. Bill, was it? That it's possible we missed the sign. You see this signpost here. Never mind. Would you like a hand up?
I was hoping you would ask. All
She
right.
reaches down.
Yeah, and I take it, and I nearly pull her over because I'm very, very unsteady from all the beans.
Yeah, and the two stand up, and you notice again the broken signposts sort of next to the riverbed.
I look around. Mrs. Powell sort of like gets out of the harness she's made for herself, kind of shrugs it aside, coils the rope carefully, lays it on top of the covered sledge, and then starts poking around, kind of raccoon-like. She's like sniffing a little bit by the water's edge. She's looking carefully in the water. She actually like pulls up her skirts. Oh yeah, they climb down off of me and they start going through the undergrowth. She pulls up her skirts and starts like wading in the river a little bit. Do I see anything else interesting?
Yeah, give me a roll.
While she's doing that, Southbound Bill is going to scratch his behind and let out a fart. I'm sure you know what that sounds like.
No, I don't. Can you?
Oh, well, I mean, since you're asking, I think I could find something. Get this. It's in my quick access.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, wait. I think this sounds right. Hold
Is there
on.
a beans fart? For all those beans you've been consuming?
There's spittoon. Oh, wait. Spittoon spits. Those are
Not a fart.
those aren't farts.
No.
God, I hope not. What does she see?
With a 13, you see splinters of wood in the river that have clearly washed farther downstream, too small to sort of make anything of. But as you sort of turn back towards Bill and scan the tree line, you notice that there is a pretty well hidden path, sort of running total in the opposite direction of the river. It sort of juts off into the woods.
Like
deep.
perpendicular to the way that the river is.
Exactly. I couldn't think of the word. But, and based on where the sign is, it looks like it would have been a perfect arrow towards that. You would have missed it completely otherwise.
Jeremiah, my littlest raccoon, is sitting at the mouth of this pathway with his, just like sitting like a little human. It's very disconcerting. And his bright little eyes just look over adoringly at Mrs. Powell. Jeremiah! Oh, Bill! And she quickly gets out of the water, shrugs back on her harness. Bill, I reckon Jeremiah done found it. Good raccoon, you come right here.
Hold it. One second. Is it okay? All right. All right. What was that, Miss Powell?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either.
Oh, no.
There was no fart sound.
Hold on. That was one of them.
There's a lot of like...
Okay. All right. Hold on. No, there's another one coming. There's always another one coming when it comes to bees. They're always going to come. There it is. Oh, don't mind me, Mrs. Powell. I just, you understand. Man,
I'm downwind, young man. What have you done? Oh my.
That's what I call some classic Montana flatulence right there.
And
what is it you found, Mrs. Powell?
Yeah, and as you look towards what Ms. Powell's been pointing out to you, you see the little raccoon sort of squeaking next to a path that leads into the woods next to the river.
Jeremiah, you come back here this very instant. Oh, strong-willed thing.
And he starts skittering off along that path.
So she pulls on her harness and starts straining her every muscle, pulling this very heavy.
Moving the woods past this sort of not carnivorous.
What kind of dang tree is this? I ain't seen nothing on that.
Oh
And he
my
tries
god!
to take a bite at you.
Look at the
What is it? Coniferous? What is it?
coniferous.
I said coniferous.
You said carnivorous.
Whatever. Oh, I said coniferous.
Did you?
Yeah, I thought that was wrong.
Oh, you did great,
trees.
baby.
I guess there are coniferous trees in Utah.
Deciduous and coniferous. I don't know. Whatever. You walk
It's
through.
a mixed
And
deciduous
they're like
forest.
scraping you, and you're like, "Oh, this is so nice." And you get through, and again, it feels like a very hidden path. And as you begin walking down, you come to a small, almost natural river, or sorry, not a river, rather, like a small pond and like a dirt bridge that's going over it. And as you approach, Jeremiah sort of stops and looks, and there's a man standing at the edge of the water.
A dirt bridge?
Yeah, it's like a natural bridge, but it's man-made, but not in the way that like a wood bridge was. It looks like someone's like pushed, mud to form a way to cross a small pond. It's interesting. And as you come, you see a man standing at the edge of the water fishing. He's sort of sports a thinning beard. He's got a young, squarish face, sort of dirty blonde hair, mousy features with a sharp nose and sort of tight eyes. And he doesn't seem to pay you much mind. He does turn and sort of smiles at you and turns back and casts into the pond again.
Can I, by extension, control Jeremiah a little bit
Sure.
at your discretion?
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
If Jeremiah is your main, it's either Macy or Jeremiah. You get to pick who your main raccoon is.
Oh, Macy's not around.
Okay, then you get to control Jeremiah.
Macy's mischievous, but I'm not gonna. That's your mischief to play with.
Deal.
Jeremiah's the little boy raccoon, and he wants to go and poke around in the guy's bags.
Okay. So yeah, he scurries over, and the guy sort of looks down and sees them, and he's like, "Not gonna find anything special in there, friend." And he like casts, and seeing that, he kind of turns to you and says, "Well, hello, you two.
Howdy!
Howdy." And he sort of tips bright afternoon, morning, sun, whatever, and he like nods to you, and he nods to Southbound Bill.
And she dragging this sledge, she sort of sets it down. Well, hello, young man. Where are we?
Oh, you're in the middle of the woods in Utah.
Well, I know that. God blast you.
Oh, sorry. I mean, what do you mean? Where are you? Are you? I guess you're on your way to.
We're trying to get to Blake Town.
And he sort of stands back a little taken aback. He's like, "Oh, well, that's surprising. Fair enough. Yeah, you're on the right way. Just head on down there and."
Why is it surprising that we're going to Blake Town?
Oh, just I didn't think they do it. Did you get the flyer?
What do you mean you didn't think they'd do what, young man?
Oh, just the people of Blaketown didn't think that they talked a long time about sending out a flyer and getting people sort of come visit, but I didn't think they'd do it.
So are you from this town?
Boy. Yeah, listen to her.
Listen,
You from this town?
Yeah, I'm from Blaketown. Listen, don't matter much.
Wait. Why wouldn't they send out a flyer if they got gold here? They need people to dig it up. It only makes sense that they would send out a flyer.
I just mean to say that when they send out a flyer for, listen, you got me all flustered now. All I'm saying is that, they talked a long time about bringing people in and sharing some of the gold and, other things. And I'm surprised they finally did it. That's all.
And I'm surprised that any self-respecting folk would share the gold. I'm very, very curious to understand, young man, about the veracity of this claim, you see.
Well, they got plenty of gold to share. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm sorry. And he bends down and picks up his little sandwich basket.
And I grab him by the shirt collar.
Oh.
And I pull him up close, and there's some beanie spittle sticking into his face.
Oh, sorry, you're hurting me.
Listen here, boy. I've been traveling across the greater states in the South, making my way here in the hot Mojave Desert sun for 4 months. There better be some dang gold in this town. You hear me?
Yes, there's plenty of gold. That's never up for question. I didn't mean disrespect. I'm sorry. Please let me down.
One
Bill-
more thing.
Yeah.
Hold on, Miss Powell. I'm speaking to the boy. We're
Fine!
Satan.
Southbound Bill, go right ahead.
I got one more thing to ask you, boy.
Yes, sir.
You got any beans?
No, sir. Tune sandwich. Only all I got.
Well, then you carry on yourself. I ain't gonna be eating no tuna sandwich.
Oh, well, best of luck to you both in Blaketown. And he bends down and picks up his little basket and swings his little fishing rod over his shoulder and sort of scurries off, nervously looking over his shoulder as he goes.
Common fool, that boy. No, I think...
He was pretty nice, though. He was a fool, but Was he a fool? I don't know. He seemed to know what he was talking about.
Gold. Plenty of gold. They just want to
Gold.
share the gold.
Oh, no, I ain't no share no gold. I need lots of gold for what I'm planning.
I need more gold than you do.
I don't know about that, Missy.
I don't know about you then.
But I don't know about you.
Agree to disagree. And she holds out a little withered hand.
Well, the friend of your friend is your friend. Take your hand.
And the enemy of my raccoon best be getting out of my eyesight. I think is how that one ends.
Get off me! Get off me!
Don't you!
It was crawling up my leg there.
She pulls her
We gonna
sledge
go to this town
on.
look for gold or what?
Jeremiah scampers up on the sledge and she starts pulling.
And you move a little bit further into the woods. The trees become tighter. The pathway to this town is very obscure. Most towns are on major trade routes, along major roads, yet this one holds no seeming pathway of any kind. The only reason you knew it was here because of the flyer, which, interestingly enough, appeared to you as you were both sort of panning for gold at your last locations, which turned out to be duds, both of them. You woke in the morning to find the flyer on your stool next to your campsite, pinned to a tree. They were sort of seemingly left to campsites that were moved through. And as the two of you exit the last row of trees, you come across the main strip of Blaketown. You see 4 or 5 houses on either side of the road, a modest but common size of town for this number of people. You see the single dirt road stretches far back towards a large mountainside. At the end, you see maybe what looks to be an entrance to a path that leads down towards a valley and maybe towards the mountain mines. As you walk down this town road, you recognize that it is empty. No people walking the streets, no horses tied up. At least not when you enter the town. You look to either side of the road, and the buildings, despite looking relatively new, seem to hold no movement of any kind. There's a barber, which you don't see anyone in. There's a general store, which the door looks slightly ajar. And then finally an inn on the left side of town, which is the only building that has a horse tied up front.
Oh, there's a horse there. I'm about to walk into the bar. I'm getting close to it.
Mrs. Powell is rubbing at her shoulders. It'd be nice to get inside and get a parched mouth, some liquid whiskey, maybe. Bill, do you have any money?
Money?
I've been
I turn back lazily as I I lean on the saloon doors. Money? Do I look like I got money? I just ate my last can of beans this morning. Boy, was it good, but I haven't seen a can of beans since I haven't been able to afford one, you see.
Mrs. Powell pats her very empty pockets. There's 2 coins click together.
I haven't been a very successful prospector myself. Let's go see what the prices are like.
She shoulders off her harness and
You wait here, Jeremiah, till I see what kind of establishment this is. Be a good
what
boy.
about the rest of the coons?
Oh, they'll make their way.
sort of a couple of them crawl underneath the porch, the wraparound porch of the saloon.
Yeah, perfect. And just you enter alone, and Bill, you stay outside?
Oh, no, I'm going in, too.
We go in together.
Oh, okay. The two of you walk into a bar. You see the long oak wood bar stretching off to your left. about 4 or 5 tables dotting the floor as you walk in, your feet clicking against the hollow floor. There's a banister that runs up to the stairs that go to the second story where the rooms presumably are. There's a player piano in the corner that right now sits vacant. And as you cast your eyes across the room, you see no one inhabits it save one man sitting with his back to you at a round table. He sips on a large mug of beer, and almost lazily he turns his head towards you as you enter. With a screech, he turns his chair around. You see a man older, maybe 50. He sports a twirled mustache of gray and a pointy beard. He wears a round bowler hat and sort of a lush almost, but dirty and greasy bearskin coat. His eyes are seemingly gray, but they seem kind, and sort of with an obtuse smile, he says, "Well, hello there. Didn't think anyone else would be joining me."
Hal pulls off her hat and starts fanning herself with a wide brim, her hair wild, plastered to her face with sweat. Regards him.
"Welcome."
Is this your saloon?
No, far from it. And he stands up with a screech and walks, the hollow clunk of his boots echoing as he heads towards the bar, and he reaches behind it and pulls up a bottle of whiskey, filling his glass and then replacing it. No. I've been waiting here for any sign of anyone to come by. Cheers. And he sort of toasts you and takes a drink as he heads back to his chair table.
Mrs. Powell needs no further invitation. She heads directly over to the bar, looks around for a second, and then casts a wry, sparkling glance over to Southbound Bill and pulls up 2 big glasses and just glug, 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 frosty beer from wherever beer comes from in this bar.
It would only be whiskey, unfortunately.
Well, you said he has a big glass of beer.
I know, and then I was wrong.
So
Whiskey.
it's a big glass of frosty whiskey.
That works.
Yeah.
She slides one across the bar and sort of like hobbles back in front.
Well, cheers to you then, stranger.
Cheers to you, too.
Cheers.
And cheers to you, and cheers to you also.
So you two are traveling together then, are you?
Cheers. Up until, well, very recently, I'm just with my raccoons, and, well, you know. You meet someone like Bill on the road, and you can't help but be attracted to his sparkling personality.
I do say so. Yes, I see it myself. Good shot there, old man. Well, the name is P.W. Saltminer. And yours?
I'm sorry, what did you say that was?
P.W. Saltminer is the name.
You write that down, Miss Powell.
Basically, the only thing I do these days is write down funny names.
Funny.
Did I say the loud part quiet and the quiet part loud?
Well, you did say my name was funny, so I...
She puts away a little tiny pad of
would say I
paper.
take offense to it. Listen,
Salt water.
not important. P.W. Saltminer is the name. I say, what brings you two to this small hamlet in the middle of nowhere?
Probably the same reason that you're here, P.W.
Very true. He reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a folded, stained piece of paper and folds it out carefully onto the desk. What do you say? Do you think it's bull?
Hard to say.
Well, did they actually got gold here?
Well, it seems like the town is relatively new. All signs point to some sort of gold rush, and yet it seems strangely vacant, at least for the time being. I've been here not half hour.
Is that your pretty horse outside?
It is.
Well, she's a beauty.
She's the only horse in this town right now, which makes her a rare commodity. And I am keen to keep her that way. And he pulls a pistol on the two of you. Like, very casually almost. You realize that he's been holding it almost at you for a while. No need for me to use this. I only want to stress that if we are all in this for the reason this flyer states, I'm keen to at least take my fair share.
What do you mean, at least?
Meaning that I think we all can size each other up relatively quickly, especially you, a man of your gargantuan stature. And let's just say I've killed a lot more for a lot less. But, and he puts his gun away and stands up and lifts his whiskey. No need to worry about that yet. A toast to new friends. Come, join me.
Yes.
Toast to new friends. I wonder if they got any. I'll be right back. I get up and I walk down into the back door, swinging the saloon doors. The back door, yeah. There's like a little pantry area.
Yeah, sure.
I'm hoping.
And he turns to you, Miss Powell, and says, "Please, Miss Powell, sit."
Yeah, Mrs. Powell pulls up a chair directly
Wait.
beside the groaning man. Oh, that's good, Justin.
That's good. Directly beside the
Thanks.
man.
The man who I was making like you were groaning, like
yeah.
that was him who was doing the sound, and that it wasn't a sound effect, but that it was you
Is there
who
a
was
Mr.
acting.
Powell?
Oh, yeah. Yes, my husband, Silas. Yes. It's been some time since we were together.
Very nice. So, where did you find this flyer of yours?
Well, of course. Interesting question. It was just around the camp where I was, upstream some ways, you see. I was skeptical at first. Still am, to tell you the truth. It's hard to say these days, though, what might lead you into fortune and what might take you away from it.
I agree with that. Truer words were never spoken, Miss Powell. Bill, you're walking around the back of the building.
Yeah, I'm in the pantry area.
He's
Yeah,
looking
on
for
the
beans,
bar.
baby.
And
I'm looking for
you...
beans.
Yeah, you find a can of beans.
What else do I find? I'm gonna do an actual thorough search.
Give me
See
a roll.
what is back here. Natural 20.
Wow. Yeah, you find a can of beans.
You find gold.
You find gold. Yeah,
Game
you
over.
find like 5 gold nuggets worth like $500.
For real?
Holy shit.
For real. It's like huge.
Stick it in my pants.
Do you tell anyone?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you put it in your pants.
Yeah.
You little...
Well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Tell you that I found.
Do you exit
Found gold?
exit the pantry?
Talking to yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back out. I'm going to sit down.
And you sit
How good
Wait.
of a bluff is he doing right now?
I'm back. I'm back. Oh,
Did you just
found
set
some
a
beans?
giant mousetrap?
Beans I found.
And Salt Miner finishes whiskey again and says, "Another one, it's on me." And for the first time, he points to the bar, and you realize that the prices are listed above it. And he stands up and walks over. Anyone? Anyone?
What's the price for an entire pint glass of whiskey?
It says 1 shot of whiskey, 1 hug, 2 fingers of whiskey, 2 hugs. And it says 1 bottle, kiss, and in parentheses, non-romantic. He walks over and he kind of suits out and he nods and says, "I don't know where they get this idea, but I'm happy to give all the hugs I need for another one of these." And he walks back over with the bottles and sits down to the 3 of you, to the 2 of you.
Mrs. Powell stands up and she says, "I'll have 1 more, but really I'm not much for the bottle, just parched, you see." And she goes and she looks out the front door. She's just kind of, you know, those like swingy saloon doors that are sort of like half height.
Definitely.
She's just like peering out over the top of one, looking at the town.
Okay. Give me a perception roll. And Bill, he turns to you and says, "And 1 for you."
No thanks. I think I had enough the first time.
You did drink a rather large one. Fair enough. Don't want to let it go to waste. And he fills up his own drink. And,
I rolled a 4.
yeah, and you start looking out. It takes you a second as the two are talking behind you. He says, "Listen, Bill, I hope we can all agree to work amicably together. My feeling is this town has plenty to offer. If these flyers were sent out, which either means that it's already been taken, in which case there's no need to get in each other's business, or we are the first here, which also means we can split it evenly and all walk out of this as winners. What say you?" And as you're searching the street, you look to the building across the way. It sort of looks like almost like an apartment building of sorts. And as you look towards the windows in the top, you see movement, which you see for only a second before your attention is immediately snapped away. Both you, Bill, and the man sitting across from you, Bill, all turn your attention towards the bar, where you see a man standing there. He sort of answers Salt Miner's question. He says, "Well, don't worry, there's plenty of gold for everybody." The man you see is a young-ish man, clean-shaven, with sort of a dirty blonde hair, sort of a sharp nose, tight features, small eyes, almost mousy. And he stands there and he's sort of like wiping a rag on the bar. And he nods towards you and Mrs. Powell and Salt Miner and says, "Hope you're all willing to pay for those."
Yeah, I believe we are in some debt from the drink that we had, right? Oh, I guess we should pay for it, right? Let's hug somebody. Who am I supposed to hug?
That's all right, me. And he walks out from like behind the bar, and he's this very like thin, almost gangly man with suspenders. Looks oddly familiar, and he walks out and like holds his hands open, his arms open towards you.
Mrs. Powell's like rubbing her eyes from looking outside in the hot sun of noon as she looks back into the dimly lit bar. Is this the guy who was fishing from before?
Give me a description. Give me a roll. Give me a description. Give me a roll.
He sounds like him.
He looks like him too. That's a 17.
Yeah, he looks identical. Minus the beard, he looks identical.
Mrs. Powell's just watching Bill go over and she's like scrubbing at her eyes.
And he embraces you and he like hugs you and he breathes deep, and as he does, he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, that's nice. That's one shot. How much do y'all drink?"
I had a shot as well.
And he's kind of still has his arms around your waist, Bill, and he's like, Did you want him to pay or do you want to pay yourself?"
Well, I'll pay for half of it. We had I had a full mug.
Well, Salt Miner said actually that the drinks were on him.
And Salt Miner sort of looks like a deer in headlights. He's kind of like, well, I mean, yes. Ultimately, I was joking, but I can. Yeah.
I won't be paying for this because Salt Miner was buying mine. You see.
No, of course.
Right. That is right. He did say that he was do that. Well, I mean, what'd you say the price was? A hug or a kiss is non-romantic. I mean, that's not too bad now.
Oh, no, I just mean to say, if it was a bottle, it's going to be a kiss. If it's going to be one finger is a hug, two fingers is two hugs. But Miss Salt Miner was it. And Salt Miner sort of stands up and screeches the chair back again. It's like, right, yes, of course. And he walks over and like... He walks over and like awkwardly hugs the young man and then hugs him like again and then like hugs him again and then Blake sort of like looks past him and is like, "Oh, you got the bottle on the table too." Kind of turns his face and waits for a kiss, and Salt Miner sort of leans down and kisses him. What's your name, son?" He's like, "Blake. I accidentally said it just a minute ago, but that's my name." And you are? Salt Miner? P.W. Salt Miner is my name, and this is, sorry, what was your name, chap?
My name?
Yes.
My name's Southbound Bill. Southbound Bill.
Oh, nice to meet you. And you, miss?
Oh, well, I'm Mrs. Powell. Excuse me,
Nice to meet you, Mr. Powell.
son.
And he kind of heads back to around the bar.
What kind of establishment is this?
Well, this is Blakewood Inn. It says on the door right there. You can rest up here for the night, and you can do any matter of things.
Now, tell me, Blake, of the Blakewood Inn in Blaketown. Who else lives here?
In Blaytown?
Yes, I haven't seen. Well, actually, there's one person across the street that I spied myself, but apart from me and Southbound Bill and P.W. Saltminer and his horse, who I've yet to meet, and my raccoons, and yourself, who lives here?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of us that live here. There's Bill. There's a Bill, and
Like me.
yeah, no, but there's another Bill, and there's there's a Butch, and Jack. There's a guy named there's my good friend Jack, and Cooper, obviously, and
All right. All right. All right.
Plenty of people live in Blaytown.
Oh, of course, Blake. That's just fine. Thank you. And do you know anything about gold?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of it. Did you all find my flyer?
Yes.
Oh, good.
You wrote this flyer?
Oh yeah, I had it commissioned out and sent out, and trying to drive some people coming to the town. Do y'all have it?
Yes.
Can I see?
Unscrawls the flyer, like tosses it to him.
Perfect. And you, Mr. Saltminer? And he's like, yes. And he walks up and puts the flyer next to it. And Mr. Bill?
Well, I believe I still have it. And I reach my hand in my pants and I start fishing around. And I pull it out and put it on the ground.
Oh, well, that's amazing. I suppose y'all want the gold then, huh?
Yes, well, that's why we're here, Blake.
Well, like it says, gold for every visitor, and I'm happy to pay. Obviously, you have to pass the tests first.
Well, there's no word of a test to be passed. I'd say that's very tricky of you to be.
Well, now.
Not mentioning it on the fly. You said gold for every visitor, Blake, didn't you?
Well, please, Miss Powell, not to disrespect you, but if you look on the flyer, it does say so. And if you look on the flyer, it says gold for every visitor, and stretched out in really small text.
One series of
willing to pass a series of friendship tests.
Oh my god.
And he sort of looks back at you with each of you sort of having this agape expression. He's like, just again, not to insult you all, just want to let you know that I was upfront about it.
I can't barely see any of. Oh, you are a tricky man.
No.
Well, I don't see why it's such a big deal. I mean, we can just do the test. There's a friendship test. I ain't never heard no friendship test. Well, what does that look like?
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, Bill. What about you, Mr. Saltminer? Mr. Saltminer's kind of like, yes. Well, I mean, I suppose, yes, we can do a little bit of some of these tests if that's what will make this all go faster, but you do have gold. Blake sort of says, oh, most definitely. He reaches in his pocket and he throws out 3 gold nuggets, each worth about $100 each, and he places them in front of each of you. Called in advance of a lot of money that I'm willing to spend. And Saltminer sort of like looks at it. Gold nuggets, even in this day and age, are rare. You now hold 6, Bill.
If you don't mind, I'm just going to speak with my associate here.
Of course. You do you.
Over.
Mrs. Powell's like gone over, picked up her parchments, looking at it. It says, seeking gold and friendship with a really great guy. Look no further than Blaketown. And she's like squinting at it, holding it right up to her face.
And Blake like is bent down, like scrubbing some bottles under the bar. And Saltminer approaches the two and he says, well, what's the plan?
You don't think this is fool's gold, do you? I heard tell of people passing fake gold off for real gold.
Well-
I've seen people bite it.
You're not wrong. I do know enough to do a chemical test, but unfortunately 3 nuggets is not enough. I'd at least need, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 nuggets in order to do it, so we'll have to at least wait around and help. There's no way to test it without that large amount. We'd have to melt it and then scrape off pieces and test the quality that way.
I'm no alchemist, but I do know a shady deal when I see one, and the hairs on the back of my neck and the ones on my chin are all standing up.
And Bill is a little bit nervous now as he hears the numbers. He says, "Well, I ain't no math magician, but I'm pretty sure that this here is not enough gold nuggets to we don't have enough. We don't have enough."
No, like I said, we need at least 8 to be able to melt down. Are you all right, Bill?
I'm fine. It's just that the beans give me a hard time right now in the bowels.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Sometimes I get the sweats when I get beans, and
The bean sweats. I know those
he's gonna
sweats.
Give me a bluff roll, yeah.
he's gonna do a bluff.
No, those sweats.
Bean sweats.
You know those sweats?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh, got a beanie girl.
I got an 11.
I was thinking of a 13.
This is a good system, baby.
Isn't it the best system?
It's called
All right.
Did you get higher or lower than the number in my head?
So the
Guess
way
the
I
number,
was
the
trying to
system.
the
Whatever
way
it's
I
worth
was
it.
trying to bluff was I was trying to really sell it with a fart. Because if
But
I
you
farted
could, but you
that
pooped
exact
yourself.
moment-
Oh,
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so I say, well, sometimes I oh shit. Oh, damn, it won't stop. It won't, no. Oh, it's getting worse.
it's like going out his pant leg, spreading in
Oh my
slow
God.
pool.
Are you actually pooping?
So these are all recorded
I
by
think
your
a little-
friend, right?
I think a little bit might have slipped out there.
And yeah, they don't believe you. And he's like, "Did you find more gold? You were gone for a little bit."
I'm real uncomfortable right now in these here shit pants. Excuse me, Blake.
And he shoots a look to
Mr. Blake.
Miss Powell, and he says, "I think your friend might have found more gold and kept us out of the loop, Miss Powell."
Well, I wouldn't be calling him a friend too quickly, understand? It's been a mere few hours since I met the man.
Blake skips from behind the bar, and he's like, "Yes, Mr. Bill."
Mr. Blake, I'm gonna need a new pair of pants. Is there? Can I give you a hug for a pair of pants? You can see I shit myself real bad there.
Oh.
Right, run down my legs.
Yeah, no, you'll have to go to the general store across the road there.
Oh, all the way across the road. You wouldn't go there for me, would you? I really need it. Oh shit! Oh God, no, it's coming back. I really need your help here, Blake. I really need you to go across right now.
Okay, all right, I'll do it. And he runs, and he
There
heads
you
out across the road, and he runs.
And Mrs. Powell is watching him run, and she looks back over her shoulder at the sign, and she just smiles to herself. Turns back.
There's something in this man here, in this Blake, that I like. I like that boy. And you know what? What the fuck else are we doing on an afternoon like today if we ain't gonna be friends with this boy? I'd say we do it. I say the 3 of us do his friendship games and be friends with him and keep him company, and we drink this whole bar dry, and we have a whole party. Me and my raccoons will find enough gold for our needs, private and their specific needs, and we go on our way tomorrow. How's that sound to all three of you?
I don't got time to be friendly, I don't think. I mean...
The man's getting your pants!
As you're standing there, Bill, you see a figure, almost a silhouette of a woman walk by the window. Her figure is gorgeous, and she sort of walks by your eye line as you're kind of like, oh, I'm not staying here. And she sort of pauses for a second at the door of the saloon before about to continue.
She takes a good whiff of the place.
Luckily, she doesn't. And then she continues on. Unless you're talking.
Who was that? I say to PJ Saltwater. Salt.
And he turns and says, I didn't see you.
She's
right?
followed.
Did you shit yourself?
She's followed closely by an inquisitive raccoon.
I sure did shit myself, and Mr. Blake has gone to get me a new pair of pants. So, I mean, this is more money than I need. I got some beans. I got some gold. I just say we take it and run.
Are you just holding up the one nugget?
Yeah.
Okay. And what if it's fake, old chap? What if it's not real?
And I give him the stink eye, so to speak.
You're one
Listen
to talk.
Here, come here close. Come here close so nobody else can hear us. You too, Mrs. Powell.
I didn't want to get too close, if that's all right. I'd rather keep my distance.
You gotta come in close here. Otherwise, I ain't gonna tell you a secret.
You come over here,
Oh, God.
Mr. P.W.
Just say what you have to do.
When I went down in the back, I found me some gold. I found me exactly 5 pieces of gold. I think that's enough. I think that might be enough. I don't know maths.
That's enough. Give it to me and I can melt them down and check if it's fool's gold.
What? No!
Well, what do you want me to do?
He's gonna take that gold and he's gonna do a runner.
I'll trade you.
What?
Take
You
his
give me
horse.
your gun, and I will give you the gold.
Deal. And he takes out his gun, removes all the bullets, and hands you the gun. Gold.
1 bullet.
No bullets. Gold. And you can all watch me do it.
You're just gonna ruin the gold. We need the gold.
And
We're
he
prospectors.
Takes his gun back. Fair enough. And puts the bullets back in. Puts it back into his... Well, we don't know if it's fool's gold, and frankly, I'm not willing to try. So, cheerio. And he goes to turn towards the door as Blake comes back in with a pair of pants. He's like sweating and his hair is mad. And he's like, I'm sorry. I tried to go to the general store, but it was closed, so I had to go to his house and knock on the door, and here you go. And he hands you a pair of pants.
Well, thank you, Blake. You're a good man. Is there a place where I can change?
Oh, yeah.
in private?
The bathroom back there. There's the outhouse out back, if you like.
All right. Will you come with me, Miss? Mrs.
No,
You-
no, don't even say my name. I absolutely will not come with you. That's disgusting. Oh, I need at least a meter distance.
All right. I'll go do this. Oh, boy. You wouldn't happen to have a wet towel, would you, Blake? Just so I can do a little wiping back there.
Or maybe use your old pants. I don't have any on me.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's what I'll do. Cheers, guys. And I walk down the back, and the saloon door swings, and I leave to the porta potty.
Are you just changing your pants, or using this as an opportunity to do something else?
I am going to change my pants and stash the gold in a different spot.
Ooh.
Clever. Okay. So you go to put on the pants, and they're like two sizes too small. They're like a perfect size for Blake.
So fashionable.
And you put
Yeah.
them on, and they like rip a little bit, but they work.
Yeah, I make sure to wipe up and everything like beforehand, so I'm not just.
I
like-
hope so. And where are you stashing the gold?
I'm gonna find a spot I'm going to stash it in. Oh,
Hmm.
In the shit. No one looked there.
Well,
no one would look there, but then getting it back would be tough.
not
Where
tough.
should I stash the gold? I'm gonna stash it. I'm gonna look for loose boards in
Okay.
the.
You look for that.
greenhouse.
Miss Powell and Salt Miner are with Blake. Well, that was unpleasant. So, what is this friendship test you have for us, Blake? I think Miss Powell and I are agreeing that it would be
It's
something we like to do.
Mrs. Powell.
I apologize, Mrs. Powell. But we're in agreement that we'd like to try to be your friend, I think, for the time being at least.
I'm very friendly.
So we can tell. And Blake's sort of just like, well, gosh, darn, I never thought 3 people would answer my flyer and all be willing to be my friend. So, well, should we wait for Mr. Bill to come back or should we just start on it now? And as he says that, yeah, you found a board to stash it. It's a 7 out of 20, so it's an okay board, but you can do it. And you enter back through the back, I'm assuming?
Yeah, go
With your tight pants, you're sort of like waddling back and forth. He's like, oh, never mind, he's here right now. And he sort of turns around and like kicks his feet and all shucks, turns back to you and says, so, Mr. Bell, Mrs. Powell and Salt Miner here said that they would be willing to do the tests for the gold, and you would be too then?
I'll do it.
Oh, gee whiz, boys and girls and ladies. I'm sorry. I'm just happy to help. Oh boy, and he turns around and sort of like looks at the window for a second. Okay. Well. Test 1. Let's. Can you 3? Oh, I know. Can you 3 help me move?
Move.
Yeah. And he walks outside and like kind of leads you like eagerly, like come. And he walks out to the street and he points at like a house. And says, that's where I live right now. And he points to the other end of the city, the town. And I need to move there. And I have a few pieces of furniture. So we just need to go there and take my bed and my dresser and carry them over to that.
All right. Mrs. Powell, while he's still talking, just shuffles over to her sledge and she looks down at it and she breathes a big sigh. She starts unfastening ropes that are holding the canvas down. And as she pulls the canvas back, there's just this waft of stench. She reveals mummified human remains.
And we're going to stop there for the mid-game post. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the mid-game post. I hope you're enjoying One Horse Town so far. I don't know.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
I've enjoyed it. I've having
Good.
fun with these characters.
Well, there we go. That's the point. I'm having fun with Blake. He's a real nice guy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the mid-game post. This is where we stop the action and jump to you on the stream to ask you a question. I think the question for the day is... I don't know. Did anybody read this fine print? I guess not, eh?
I did.
I know you did. After it was pointed out.
Yeah.
How cool is that, though? How
I
funny is
loved
fine
that. I didn't even notice it.
know.
So clever.
So weirdly innocent.
Love it.
Sorry, what was clever?
The fine print of the thing.
Did you see the fine print on the poster?
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I didn't see it at first. I didn't.
It's
But
like-
I haven't even actually looked into it yet. Like, I haven't.
Well, it's
zoomed
funny
in.
because if you look at it, it says, seeking gold, look no further than Blake Town. Gold for every visitor, follow the West River south. You can't miss the sign. But if you look at the fine print, it says, seeking gold and friendship with a really great guy. Look no further than Blake Town. Gold for every visitor after a series of friendship tests. Follow the West River south. You can't miss the sign.
That's
so
great.
let's
I love
do-
that. I love that it
The
was hidden
names
in
of
plain
my
sight, too.
raccoons?
Yeah, I want to do a quick mid-game post because there's a lot more to this game. So
Yeah.
let's say
I've named 2 of
there are
them
2
so far.
raccoons. First person to name the 2 raccoons.
Great.
And Justin, you can use the bathroom and get a drink because I know you always like to.
I actually have been drinking.
Iwawa?
Yeah, you have a bottle of wine with you. Oh. Bottle of Wawa tea.
Wawa tea. Hot
I think we should just give it to the first person and Zia.
Yeah, Zia did it. It's
Zia's
Macy.
technical-
Like,
Macy.
yeah.
So let's give it to Zia for Macy Jeremiah.
Yay, Zia. Need anything, Harlan?
I think good. You good?
I could use some more water, but I'm good.
Well, why don't you go grab some water?
Yeah.
If you'd like. Maybe some.
Well,
of those
in that
caramel-
case, I'm gonna get myself some more wine.
What
the heck? That's
Harlan? me
alone.
Oh, you hate that. You would never want to be by yourself in front of a camera.
I never. You're giving them a real midriff shot.
Sorry.
That's all right. Harlan hates being alone on the camera. How's it going on? You know what I miss? I miss doing spooky streams. I think we need to do some spooky streams again. Hey, darling. I think we need to do some spooky streams again. I'm thinking we need to finish Call of Cthulhu. Spooked. I'd love to do a little bit of Call of Cthulhu. Some spooky streams again. I know Layers of Fear 2 is coming out. We should do that. But yeah, now that Joe and I live together, I don't think there's any reason we can't do. I mean, right now it's been hectic because of moving in and all that kind of stuff. But I'm excited to do some spooky streaming.
Ooh, join spooky streams.
Spooky stream. I gotta figure out this talking thing though, because every time I'm talking, it keeps picking up her mic.
There is a way. There's
I know.
There's gotta be a way.
It's like right now it seems fine. I wonder if it. No, see, look.
It
Even
might
now,
be the
it's
mics themselves though. Like you're like,
yeah, I know.
if you had like dedicated broadcasting mics, like this mic, you would probably have an easier time. But then again, that's like $600 to make a change. So
$600.
$600.
I just bought this boom mic too. I'm gonna do this.
Boom. Got boom, 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 mic.
Boom, boom, bada boom, boom, bada boom. Terraria, that was fun. Remember when the three of us were doing Terraria?
Oh, I love Terraria. I miss that game. We should play that game. I have a craving.
Oh, baby.
Baby, baby, baby.
What have you been craving?
What'd you say?
What?
Say something to me?
I asked him.
I said baby.
I said baby.
Baby, baby, baby.
baby.
Oh,
No, he's saying baby. I called you baby. I said thanks, baby.
baby, baby.
I don't know. What have you been craving, Justin?
Oh. Like a like Stardew Valley, Terraria, like kind of building RPG.
Sure, there's a
I've
new
been
one.
craving that sort of thing. Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
wish
there's
there
a
was
new one
too.
There's always a new one.
I've played Stardew Valley so much though.
Fucking love that game.
Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
Ah.
me too.
You let me know when you want to play some more, Harlan, because we are on the cusp of fall year 2
But-
in our shared game, and I'm so excited to do some planting.
We're also
So fucking busy.
and playing Detroit.
Oh
And
yeah,
playing Detroit.
Detroit Become Human. Really good. It's a very good game.
Detroit Become Human?
It's really good.
Oh, that is. Oh wow! Oh, PS4, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, it's a pretty stupid name, but it's a good game.
I didn't know that there was a what are they called?
I'm Detroit, and
Detroit.
I'm human.
Detroit Human. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited for getting a PS4. I'm excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake, which just released a new trailer.
11. I've never played them, but one day maybe.
Oh, so good.
All right, let's do this. Let's head back to One Horse Town. Blake opens the front door of his house. Well, this is it. Do you want to start in the bedroom, or should we do the bureau first? It's kind of the heaviest piece. I got a kitchen table and sort of a cabinet with all my cutlery in it. Well, what do y'all think?
I look to Mr. Salt Miner,
And he's
and then
like,
I look back. Yeah, what's Mr. Saltminer doing?
Like, I'm taking your lead on this. And we look down the road and see Mrs. Powell like dragging this decimated corpse cart.
Oh, the corpse. She unloaded the corpse.
Oh, right.
She left him on the terrace of the saloon. She sort of rolled the sledge sideways and dumped this body and like dragged him up the stairs, and she put the canvas tarp over top of him. And hi, darling. And then she's dragged the sledge all the way back over to the house, and she's just dusting her hands off and shrugging under the harness.
Well, before we move anything, we should probably know exactly where things are going.
In the new house? Good idea. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Well, why don't we each carry a piece to the new place? And he grabs a chair. Let's go, and starts walking down the road.
Mrs. Powell just fucking barrels in there and she starts loading stuff into the sledge.
Nice.
She's got like a cabinet. She puts a stool. There's a little vanity with a tarnished mirror that she's got on there. She starts loading blankets.
Nice. And yeah, you all start heading down the road. What do you carry?
Oh, I grab I go to the pantry, and I make sure I grab an armful of whatever
Beans.
canned goods he's got there. Maybe one slips into my pants at one point. One can of beans. And
Your
I
new
make my way
pants,
out.
which are ready to stain
My
again.
new pants. Yeah, I make sure to strategically stuff it.
Yeah, and
Thick.
Salt Miner grabs like a easel. And I'm Easel.
Who's that? Yisel. And Gretel.
Yeah, and you all start heading back down the road.
Trudge.
Blake leads you into the next house, and it's like a mirror image of that house, like identical. You're like, well, I mean, where do you think things look nice? I mean, I liked it how it was the whole place, but I'm happy to hear my friends' opinions.
Can I look around at the house to see if there are like imprints of anything having been on the walls before, any dust that shows like scrapes through it?
Yeah, both. Imprints on the walls, scrapes on the dust. This house has been used before and empty.
Didn't roll good. Were you thinking a 1, maybe?
It's easy to tell. It's not too tough to tell.
To answer Zia's question, the raccoons are helping.
Oh,
they're carrying
little pillows. They're doing like a Henry
linens
job
and
of it.
stuff. Yeah.
I help. Yeah, but you're like actually slowing.
They
it
go
down.
to a different house, and you're like, no, come back here, come on.
One of them's dragging a pillow, and Jeremiah's just sitting on it in his human way, like while it's being dragged.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I think we can move things in here pretty easily.
Yeah, let me just get
Just
these
tell
into
me
the pantry.
where do you want this wardrobe, son?
But maybe we'll put it over there. And it's like the same spot it was in the other house, just mirrored. And he's like, all right, let's go back for another load. And you spend the next like half an hour to an hour unloading one house. And
We get pizza afterwards?
well, we'll see. As the day winds on, eventually there's only a few things left. And Blake is like, oh, well, you guys are doing great. We're almost done. I'm going to just have to head off to the bathroom. And we'll make sure that no one's stopping at the inn. So can you finish the last load by yourself and return the key to me at the inn?
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, friends.
Oh, all right.
And he leaves the three of you, and Salt Miner's like, what the hell are we doing? Why are we moving someone's house?
This
And
is
I thought that we were coming to here to look for gold. This is not what I expected.
Right, well, listen, we're alone now. Give me the gold. I can check it to make sure it's not fool's gold.
No. We might as well finish this
Well, let's
here.
just do it together. Look, and he walks over to the stove and which is still hot from the tea that Blake had made for you all. And he puts a little pan on it. He's like, hand me the gold. We can melt it down. I can test
get
it.
your dirty hands off his gold.
I'm not touching your gold. I'm saying that if we test it now, we know that we're doing this for a worthwhile thing.
Test your own gold.
We can... Listen. Do you notice there's no one else in this bloody town? If there is gold, we can just Blake, and we can take the gold.
No one's as enterprising as me and Mr. Bill here.
Well, then why are we doing this? Why don't we just off him?
Because Blake needs a friend, you stupid git.
Who gives a shit about Blake?
Ooh.
I need a friend.
Oh, you know what you need. That's a threatening half sentence I wasn't intending to
How
finish.
about this for a threat? And he pulls his pistol. Now listen here. I want the gold, and I don't care if I have to go through Blake or any other person in this ghost town. That includes you two. And I think that if the two of us... Excuse me! There's a voice from the front door, and he quickly puts the pistol away as the three of you turn to see that silhouette of the woman that walked by the bar. Standing before you, Bill, is a strikingly beautiful woman with a sharp nose, tight eyes, mousy features, and blonde hair. She's clean-shaven. And she stands there and says, "Well, hello. My name..." Well, yes, she is. And she says, I heard some commotion in town. I heard that you were helping Blake move. Pleasure to meet you. And she takes a half step in and sort of like outstretches a hand to you, Bill.
Well, I mean, and I kind of part my hair and like comb it down slightly and dust out the bean sprouts from my beard. Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss.
Bianca. Miss Bianca, you can call me.
Whoa. Well, Bianca, you have a stunning persona that I just truly admire. So it's been a long time since I've seen a woman of your
a pleasure to meet you too. What's your name, Mrs.?
My name's Mrs. Powell, young lady.
Oh, nice to meet you. And I missed your name, kindly, sir. And she turns back to you, Bill.
Well, they say my name. My name is Southbound Bill.
Oh, nice to meet you. And your name? And Salt Miner goes, "You're a man." She's like, "Oh, what? You're a man. You're Blake. You're just wearing a wig. What the fuck are you doing?"
Now, how dare you say this about this fine
It's a man.
woman?
Look at him. He looks the exact same as Blake.
PW! Now, this is enough. You pulled a gun on me, and now you are upsetting this young woman.
I do declare. I mean, I suppose Blake and I look similar. We are twins. But I'm no man, I assure you.
You apologize to the lady right this instant.
Boy. I'm sorry, I guess. I didn't realize you were twins. You live here as well? Yes, I have. I lived here my entire life, same as Blake.
Well,
it's a lovely town. I do enjoy being here very much. I also am enjoying helping your brother move his goods into his new place, which is a lovely home. Say, miss, where do you live, Bianca?
Well, it's Bianca, actually.
Oh,
and
right, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I live in town across from the inn on the second story of the building. And actually, Blake sent me over because he said that you three were trying to get the gold and pass the friendship test. Well, I'm here to tell you that the friendship test isn't just for Blake, but also for Bianca. That's right. And I'm going to give you the next test as soon as you're done here. But I mean, it's pretty much done. Here's your payment for this job. And she hands you each 4 gold nuggets. And Salt Miner, like, greedily is like, "Oh, gold, yes. Of course. I mean, of course, twins. I apologize immensely for, anything I said before. We're happy to help, young miss." And Bill, you feel the 4 heavy pieces of gold in your hand as well as you do, Mrs. Powell.
Oh, look at this gold. Oh, I've never seen anything like this.
Yes. Well, I have a little test, if that's all right. And she says, come outside. And she walks outside and points to sort of the more destitute area of town, which beyond the pale of trees leads to a dry, arid plain beyond. You can kind of see it in the sun as you approach from the edge of the river, but this area is lush and sort of fruitful. But she does point in that direction. She says, I just love those real spiky cactuses out there in that desert. I would love one from my window, but I can't seem to get it. Every time I pick them up, they prick my hand something fierce. I was wondering if each of you could bring me back an undamaged cactus.
I figure I could make it happen for you, lady.
Thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. I'll show you where the path leads to it. She starts heading down to the edge of town.
Please do, Bianca.
As she walks down to this sort of crest of this hill, it moves down. You see it head straight down to a mine. There's a large, massive opening to like a mine shaft. It almost looks industrial with the amount of foot traffic that's worked in and out of it, and leads up to this large mountain beyond. And she sort of pays it no mind as she moves past it, but Salt Miner catches it and says, Bianca, what is that mine for? And she turns around and says, oh, well, that's the gold mine. That's where all the gold is mined. A great deal of it's still in there, but it's awfully unsafe. It's been mined near to its core. We keep the gold nuggets safe, of course, and there's probably some still in there, but any loud sound whatsoever and the entire thing would come crumbling down. Come on. And Salt Miner sort of just stands there looking at it for a second, licking his lips. Oh, yes. And she continues to lead you to a small path that sort of becomes sandy. Beyond this, and my house is 2 houses, well, like I said, right across from the inn. I'll meet you there with the cactus when you're done. And here's your advance, and hands you each another gold nugget. She starts heading down.
Walk safe, Bianca!
No. Lady
Look at that wiggle.
Sure is a nice girl, a nice young thing. Now, I wonder what she wants with a cactus. Awfully prickly. All
Doesn't matter
right.
what she wants. She wants a cactus. We're going to get her cactuses. Well, at least I am.
And with that, Southbound Bill sits down on the ground. He pulls out a can of beans, pulls out his can opener from his pants, and opens it and starts
Popeye.
eating it cold.
And Salt Miner's like, yes, cactus. That mine has the gold in it. Why are we bothering with this bullshit? We can go straight for the gold right now.
You're clearly very daft, BW. It's because it's unsafe. The lady told you as much, and if it
wouldn't she say
comes
that if
down-
their entire wealth was within that mine?
And why do you think she'd be giving it away? Well, no, that's a good point.
Because there's so much of it. Listen, I understand that we have butted heads, but my only motivation to be here in the first place is to get gold, not to be some crazy boy's errand boy. If there is but my... Do you mind that, you disgusting oaf of a man? If there's gold in that mine, and we have a chance to get it, why are we wasting time picking cactuses for little women? I think we should go straight in there and find the gold ourselves.
And I think you're just as likely to find a chunk of gold as you are to get crushed flat by a giant boulder.
Well, maybe, but... Come now, you're honestly telling me that this isn't appealing enough? And he holds out the 7 or 8 odd gold pieces he has so far.
Mrs. Powell's turned her back to him, and she's on all fours with her ass in the air, like digging with her dirty hands in the sand around the base of a cactus.
And the raccoons are helping?
Yep.
I just don't understand. Well, Southbound Bill, you must be motivated by gold.
Southbound Bill is motivated by one thing. Moving south more than he moves north. And also gold. But mostly love also. I think love is maybe one of those things. And I might have discovered it here in this here town. So, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this here empty can.
And I take off the lid and I toss it.
I'm going to go to that there cactus. I'm gonna start digging. You might want to do the same. So it's real convenient they left a spittoon here in the desert.
I was picturing you catching
can't
it in your bean
understand the two of
can.
you follow a fly out, promise of gold, and then we have the chance of having gold right there, and you're two. And as he's talking, you hear a voice. Well, I wouldn't say that they're two nothing now. And out walks a youngish man with sharp features, sort of small eyes, mousy face, sharp nose, dirty blonde hair, but he sports sort of like a thicker beard and sort of talks in a lower tone. You kind of get the impression that he's putting it on. He's dressed all in black with a sort of a wide brim hat. Looks much more daunting than anyone. He's just, so it looks like each of you are trying to help Bianca, eh? That's awful nice of you.
And Mrs. Powell, she's still digging. She just kind of looks over her back of her.
Yes, we're trying to make friends and also get rich. It's kind of a nice way to spend the afternoon. Do you live here as well, young man?
I'm not young. I'm pretty old, probably. I'll live here too. I live here too. Yeah.
And what's your name?
Blaze.
Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
Are you related to Blake and Bianca, the twins?
Well, yes, I'm a twin as well. There's a few of us.
So it's a town full of siblings, then?
Oh God, no, that would be ridiculous. This is maybe there's a few families for sure, of course. Small towns like this need that, but no, just Blake and Bianca and myself. And have you met anyone else that looks like us?
Not as of yet, but I'm sure we will. And she's, at this point...
just the three of us right now.
She's got the cactus from around its like sandy base, and she just rips it out of the ground. It sort of falls back on her ass. And
Okay, careful now. I know Bianca loves those things.
I got a big one.
Well, biggins better in.
And it's got a flower right up there. You see that little yellow flower?
Well,
That's
you have to be careful with bringing those back to her. She wants them undamaged.
Oh,
And they're very prickly on your paws.
well, yes, but...
What about you, friend? Are you helping her as well? He turns to you, Bill.
I sure am. She's the most beautiful thing I've seen in all my travels these past 4 months.
And
Hey there.
Blaze sort of
You were-
blushes a little bit, and he's like, oh, well, I mean, I guess she's a little bit interesting.
You wouldn't happen to have a pair of thick gloves that'd be good for handling cactuses, would you? You look like a man of glove wearing.
No, and that's an important. Part of the test is also trying to bring it back with your own bare hands. I can't rightly help you.
Okay, well, I didn't want to have to do this, but at least there weren't any ladies present, if you know what I mean. And I pull down my pants.
Excuse me!
Oh, you don't count, Mrs. Powell.
Oh,
I feel like we go way back. I say, bare-assed, and I lean down over the cactus. I said, now I gotta be real careful now. And I wrap my pants under the bottom of the root that I've dug up of the cactus, and I slowly shimmy the cactus into the pants. And I lift it up, and I start walking back towards town. I'll see you back in town, Mrs. Powell.
Yeah,
Oh,
see you back in
Mr.
town.
Salt Miner.
Say, Mr. Blaze, was it? Yes. The mine. It's dangerous, Mrs. Bianca was saying. Yes, very, very dangerous. We're ready to likely fall apart at any moment if you're not careful enough. But you keep gold in there, or you mine the gold from there? Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, a great deal is still in there. Ah, yes. Is it locked by any chance? I noticed there was a door down there. Oh, yes, but Bianca's got the key, so it should be all right most of the time. And Blake, too, has a key. Right. Well, I guess we ought to keep helping, shan't we, Mrs. Powell? And he bends down and
As you
pretends
turn to Mrs. Powell, you see just track through the desert. She's already loaded her cactus onto her sledge, and she's trudging off behind Bill.
Very good. Here's Blaze. And Saltminer slips back, leaving Blaze standing alone. Hurry up. And he turns around and starts, like, skipping back to town. And, yeah, you head back to Bianca's
Just
house
a minute!
and knock, and there's no answer immediately. And then, you kind of wait like a minute as
Mrs. Powell finally catches up to you. Yeah. She's sweating.
and eventually the door sort of
another pair of pants on there, do you?
the door opens quickly, and Bianca is like sort of adjusts her hair a little bit, just like sweat, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was just in the little ladies' room, and you got me my cactuses. So nice of you. Please bring them in." And she like sort of steps back, and she's like still adjusting.
Are
her
you
glove.
still bare ass, Bill?
Now, mind you, I say as I'm kind of covering myself, I did have to use my pants to carry these here, so you may want to turn your Southern Belle eyes away for just a minute while I put the cactus in a pot and get my pants back on, if you understand, miss.
Oh, of course. I don't want to see. I haven't seen anything yet. Of course, this is the first time I've seen. I'll turn around.
I brought you a great big one.
You're wonderful. And did Mr. Saltminer? And she looks past you, and there's no one coming. She's like, oh. She turns around, and the two of you place your cactuses, and she's like, waiting for you to put your pants back on, and you put them back on tight.
Never mind.
Well, Bill, those look too small for you. They look nearly my size. And she walks forward and says, "Well, I guess you passed the friendship test. Here, I think I left the. I'll need to get some gold. Do you mind meeting me in the inn? I'll be there in just a few. I need to go to the mines and get a little more."
Well, I don't mind coming with you. You say that the mines are pretty dangerous. We can escort you there.
Now I don't need no help, you goofy Gus. And she starts heading towards the mines.
Miss Bianca, can I speak with you for just a minute, please? Lady to lady.
Oh, of course. And she walks over. How can I help you, Mrs. Powell?
Well, I don't want to be rude, and I know that this here is your land, and I am not a thief by any stretch, and so I'm here prospecting in this fine country because I need the gold, you see. But I don't wish to take it from anyone for whom it belongs to. And I'm sorry to say that not everyone who is here today has the same opinion.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, I saw the glint in the eye. Have you ever seen the glint of jealousy?
I don't think so, no.
Mr. P.W. had such a glint, you see. When you told him about that mine and how much gold was in there, he could not help himself, and that's why he has no cactus for you. And I reckon down there right now with the pickaxe.
Well, I guess in that case, I'd like if you both escorted me.
I think that might be for the best. I know for a fact he is armed, and he did menace both Bill and myself with such a gun.
All right. Well, I'll. Why don't you two head down to the mines, and I'm going to tell Blake and Blaze to come down and help too.
Shall we meet the three of you there then?
Yeah. 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 And she's like walks by you, like sort of like you can tell she's like walking out. Yeah. and keeps walking out. And she disappears and heads over to the inn. You exit and begin walking towards the mines. Day's a bit overcast now as you head down this short slope towards the entrance of the mines. Sort of bushes on either side of it, and you see that the mine doors are sort of large wooden doors that seem relatively safe. A heavy set of locks on them. And
Any sign of PW?
you don't see any. Give me a roll, though.
I'll give you a Rolo. Rolling.
Roll. Yeah, you see nothing. In fact, Bianca is behind you alone, and she's like, "Oh, they're coming. They're just taking their time, but I doubt they'll be here in time. But I don't think he's here. We locked this up pretty tight. I doubt he'd be able to figure out a way to get in. So
It's okay, Bianca. Don't you worry. We'll check things out. Is there another way into the mines?
No." And she walks up and checks the padlock, and it's locked. It should be okay. And she puts her key in and unlocks it and says, "I'm just going to dip in and grab a few nuggets of gold." And as she does, the door opens and an arm swings and a gun sticks to her head, and Salt Miner has her there. He says, "Now you listen here." Wait, he's British. "Now you listen here, you two. I don't care if you two don't want gold, but I do. And you, sweetheart, are or whatever you are, gonna lead me to the gold within this mine." And she's like, "Oh." He's like, "Now quiet. If this mine is as collapsible as you think, any loud noise, including this gun going off, will trap not just her but me in here, perhaps kill us both. So don't get any wise moves, you fools." And as he begins slinking back into the mine, you hear a voice from behind you. "Bianca!" And you turn around and you see Blake and Blaze walking down the hill towards the three of you. "Bianca, no! Are you all right?" Blaze is like, "Bianca, that's our sister, you bastard." And Blake's like, "Oh, no!" And as Salt Miner sort of looks between the two of you and looks down at the woman, he's like, "All right." And puts it in the mine and shuts the door.
Disappears into the darkness.
As the two of you come down, the two join you. "What happened?" Blake sort of has a bit of blood. "That Salt Miner, he came up to the inn and he knocked me out something fierce, and when I woke up, he had the key." Blaze is like, "Oh, Bianca came to me and she said that she was nervous and to meet her at the mine, and I came and got Blake. And well, what the heck's going on here?"
Well, it seems that our friend, or not so much our friend, Mr. P.W. Saltminer, is looking for himself some gold, and he's taken Bianca captive, which you saw yourself. We gotta save her."
Mrs. Powell turns her face to the wilderness away from the mines and goes, "La, la, 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 la," and she calls her raccoons to her.
And
They emerge from the woods.
coming
It
out.
starts as a slow rustling that builds as two fat, clumsy raccoons.
And Blake equally is like, "All right, good thinking." And the town suddenly comes alive. You see people moving out of it, and all of them looking vaguely similar, all the same age, but with various types of facial hairs and various feminine and masculine properties, but all identical as they all kind of move down. Blake is like, "Bill, Butch, old man Frank, Jack, Cooper, come on." And they're all sort of moving down the mine, and there's like 15 people all standing around, all identical, but again with various sort of outfits. And Blake turns around and says, "Well, now listen, you got to go in after him. We can't go in there for other reasons."
All right, we'll go in, but there's one thing that Bianca told us about the mines, and she told us, and I announced this to the entire crowd, is that a loud noise could make the mines collapse on themselves.
"Yeah, you have
Why?
to evacuate. In fact, take your shoes off before you go in." And the whole Blakes are like, "No, yeah, just make sure you're quiet as a little missy mouse, because if you make any noise, it's going to be bad."
What is it about me that makes you think I own shoes?
"Well, I just mean to say, Mr. Bill don't make any noise, even in your nether regions.
Oh, yeah, that might be a problem. I
Just
might
be
have to
careful
disappear
and
for
be
a minute.
quick. Bianca's
give
life
it-
is in your hands.
I know, but I feel like I've got some gas building up here, and I think I just gotta get it out before I go in.
Oh, fine. And he reaches forward and pulls your finger.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
I thought you had that like synced right
Yeah,
up,
it's like
Justin.
the one thing you have to do. Fart.
I did not have it ready.
Come here. He starts pulling harder.
I've never heard that one before. All right, that's it. That's all I needed.
And the two of you head down to the mines. As
I'm
the
bringing my raccoons. with me.
sea of Blakes sort of wait, and they're like, make sure you take off your shoes. And you shut the door behind them, and you enter the cold wet of the mines. As you enter, you can hear sort of rustling water. There's a large passage going forward and a tight passage to your right. Which way are you going?
Which way does the water seem to be coming from?
You can't. It seems like it's coming from the right.
Go check that way out first.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Yeah,
The
you
raccoons can sniff out.
you turn right and you sort of come to a dead end. There's a small pool of water with sort of, it smells rich of minerals, and it runs off to the left of this room.
Are there any mushrooms growing around it?
No, it doesn't look like it. But as you enter this room, you sort of look towards the water and you realize you're standing in it, and you splash. And as you do, the cave rumbles. And you have earned 1 noise point.
Greatly unstable environment.
Very. You have a total of 5 noise point before the mountain completely falls apart based on your decisions. So,
What?
yep,
I didn't step in the water.
doesn't matter.
You
entered-
made me step in the water.
You entered the grotto. That's a point.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Be
we go
careful.
back the way we came. All right, so let's go the other way.
So you head down a sort of a larger passage, and it comes to the dark stone wall of a T. Goes right and left. To the right, give me a roll.
Can I send my raccoon out to scout for it?
Yeah, I'll give you that. That'll be nice.
I got it.
Southbound
2
does see
is a
shit.
2. Good.
Yeah, you can't tell.
I
There's like
see
everything
shit.
around you. But you can send a raccoon out one direction if you like.
Okay. I send the raccoon out to the left.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So you send the raccoons out, and you hear. I'm gonna say nothing. Actually, yeah. The raccoon sort of scampers off into the darkness, and it's just gone.
You come back now, you hear?
And yeah, after a few minutes, the raccoon comes back. It's like,
Says that
Is it
there's
holding anything?
gold.
he didn't say there's.
He's talking to me and he says there's gold that way.
Sure, if you don't believe that.
Is he holding anything? Has he brought anything back from that direction?
He's got
Give me a
an
roll.
invisible gold.
Give me a roll.
7.
Yeah, you get. He kind of is like.
Can you mime that again?
It's gold for sure.
All right.
Whatever, let's do it.
So you head down this way.
Is it
It's
gesturing
probably
for us to
more
go that way?
noise.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He's just pointing. What is that way? Are you going that way?
No.
No or yes or no?
Let's go the other way.
Okay. If you're going the other way, you come across sort of a small divot in the ground filled with bones. It's sort of a leap to get to the other side. Everyone give me a D20. And let's say I just want 10 or higher.
By a small divot.
Oh boy.
This isn't
There's a
difficult.
50-50
It's no
chance.
easy.
Failed.
So,
Natural
Mrs. Powell,
20.
you fall into it and earn another noise
Oh!
because the rattle of bones echoes.
My
and
weak body.
the whole thing grumbles. But Bill, you jump on the other side with a nice no toot.
That's fine. I managed to clinch that one. All right.
And this passage just tends to go sort of left or north, up towards an area.
What do you think, Bill? Can you manage to go north right now? Or do you need to walk south for a while?
I think I'm good. I walked all south to get here, so
You got it within you, in your constitution.
I got. Yeah.
All
I don't know
right.
how I keep track of that. It's more of an instinctual
Sort of a
thing, but yeah, I think
feeling.
so.
Right,
Yeah.
let's go north then.
All right, let's do it.
You move north through the winding tunnel, and it goes deeper and deeper into the ground, and eventually you come across a large chasm, which is cut deep within the ground. You can't even see the base of it, as the torchlight that the Blakes provided you sort of reflects off the stone walls. It's a pretty large jump to the other side that you'll each have to make, unless you want to try to scale it or find another way around.
I don't think I can make that jump.
I mean, it's not a difficult jump. It's
I
10
definitely
high.
can't.
Okay.
Because I'm old and experience has proven I can't even hop across a simple bone pit.
If you give me a benefit, we can reduce it.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Clever way to get across. You two are resourceful gold miners. You have been in your fair share of mines. What do you have on your pack?
I left it outside.
Yeah.
What do you have in your arsenal of intelligence?
outside.
I didn't bring it. I thought it would be too noisy. No, I've got some rope.
Okay. What do you wanna do?
I see on the other side of a chasm, there's a mine. What the fuck is it called?
Cart?
Cart?
Yeah, what does it go on? Tracks? Mine track?
Yeah.
That like used to span the gorge has now like broken and fallen in. So there's some like mine tracks that sort of are like the iron is twisted and bent and torn.
I figure maybe a sprightly young gentleman like yourself.
And to be clear, Bill, you're 50 or so.
I figure you might be able to throw this and catch it on there, and then we could swing across. What do you say?
That sounds mighty dangerous. I'll do it.
Let me fashion a loop for you.
I'll give you a bonus
fashion
of
loop.
+3
I'll
to your
throw it.
throw because of that. The loop.
All right. All right.
I'm good at crocheting.
I got a what's 7 down 35% chance to fail.
Those are good odds.
I'm doing it. Oh, and the +3 helped.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
you throw and it hooks onto the other side silently as you pull the rope taut. And each of you make your way across. And as you enter this sort of last room, you see gold. All around you, scattered across the floor, are just thousands upon thousands of gold nuggets, all carved from the walls, some in chunks as big as your head, some as big as fists. I'm talking millions in gold, all scattered. And in the center of this pile, there's a
Look at
hole.
those nugs!
And you get a sound thing. The
No.
whole cave grumbles.
Absolutely not. That never happened.
You just did it.
It was for fun, baby.
Fun just cost you the game of death.
That's such a
There will be no fun in this game.
Was
Fun.
Was it real fun?
cost you.
Yeah.
Can we take it back?
Why else do you
You're back
think I
down
said
to 2.
nugs?
All right, back down to 2. And in the center of this pile of like gold, there's a hole. It sort of like caves in. The gold's almost spilling into it. But yeah, there's a hole and a rope stretching downwards.
What could this be?
Must have made a loop like we did. Did you want to
All right,
crawl
well-
down there, Bill?
I guess I will, since I'm the one doing all the extraneous activity things. All right, I'll do it.
Give me a roll.
I'm not afraid. What am I doing?
You saw me before. I
You
fell
did.
in those bones.
You were great falling in those.
She
bones. I
shakes a
would've laughed out
vertebrae out
loud.
of her Yes.
Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. Stop. Wait. The gold is pretty much like falling into this hole.
Yes.
We gotta be real careful here. It looks like I'm gonna look at where the rope is coming from. Is it just like hanging from the ceiling, or is there like a pulley system?
You can't. Give me a roll. Pretty dim in here, and you're not very bright.
Oh,
You're more
Woof.
wits than one.
one.
Yeah, you don't know where it's coming from.
Well, there's a rope and it's dark, but I'm pretty sure that if I jangle too much, then I'm gonna knock some of that gold into the hole. So, I'm gonna give you my pants. I start taking my pants off.
Why do you insist on taking off your pants?
If you see one of these piles starting to shift, I want you to stick my pants in the way to muffle the sound. Can you do that, Mrs. Powell?
I certainly can. I'm extremely good at moving real quick and putting pants on things.
You look after these pants. They're my best pair.
I'm gonna do it.
All right, I'm gonna try to get in that hole now.
Give me a roll.
Do I get a bonus?
For the pants thing, that'll be for afterwards, I guess.
Okay.
Because you might succeed and it might not be anything.
Yes.
Oh, I got a 14.
Yeah, you climb down skill.
Mrs. Powell's just standing there with the pants,
I
looking,
wish I had my pants going down this
just
shaping you.
free balling.
rope. Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you make it down to the bottom, and as you do, you hear like this ominous hum.
Dick swinging. What?
You hear an ominous hum.
Do I see anything? Oh, God,
Yeah,
keep
there's like a
going.
green light.
Bill, what do you see?
I can't talk right now. I'll tell you when I come back up.
Damn it, Bill.
I'm myself.
And as you are watching this unfold, you hear a voice from behind you. Not another step. Except it's coming from behind you, Mrs. Powell. And as you're holding the pants, you turn around and you see Bianca held against her will as Salt Miner has the gun to her. So you found the gold before me, this clever little devil. You tried to trick me. Tried to bring me in the wrong area in this place. Well, guess I don't need her anymore. And he walks towards the edge of the chasm, which is right behind him.
What? You can't. We've made 3 out of 5.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
We've made 3 out of 5 sound points. You can't just throw a woman in a hole and expect us not to die.
What a sound. What do you mean sound? Why is everybody getting mad? What are you doing? And he's like, fair enough. And he takes off his handkerchief and like ties her mouth. Oh. Yeah. Now she won't scream when I throw her down this chasm.
As he's tying her mouth, he's like preoccupied for a moment. Mrs. Powell takes this opportunity to try to cover his face with pants.
He's got a pretty good distance on you. You want to run for him?
No, I'm very weak. Can I throw the pants at him?
You can try. It's like he's also tying it from like behind her, so it's gonna be like hitting her a little bit. But do you want to try? No. Okay. Bill, from below, you are in this room. There's like you see this ominous glowing green hum.
Do I reach the bottom?
Yeah, you do. And as you stand, you realize you're standing on gold nuggets.
Oh my, I ain't never seen this much gold in my dreams.
No, you haven't. Hundreds of thousands of gold nuggets lying, just like sea of them as you step across them and approach pantsless, this like green hum. And as you walk, you see this like stone circle of like this like green mist almost that stands in the center of the room. About
Hello?
5 feet high.
Is there someone there?
No,
And
just
I'll keep
sits
walking
around.
close towards it.
Yeah,
and I'm
just
going to do a perception check on it. Can I do something?
try for it. Yeah, go for it.
I got an 8.
Yeah, you don't understand. It seems like it's like passable, almost like a gate of some sort.
Oh, I see. I was picturing like a spire or something.
Yeah, no, it's like a circle in the middle, and there's like it's hollow on the other side too. You can kind of walk around it,
Okay.
like carved in the natural stone, almost like it's naturally occurring here.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around it and just keep on inspecting it.
Yeah, you like move through like piles and piles of gold nuggets that like shift as you move around them, just like scattering across.
Yeah, very careful.
You want to give me another perception roll?
Yeah, I do. I do. Oh, 14.
Every gold nugget is identical.
Now get out of town. That one has the exact same nub that this one has, and I definitely recognize that nub from when it was in my pants. What is going on in this town?
And Miss Powell, Salt Miner has like finished tying up the woman. He's like, yeah. Now when I throw her down the chasm, she won't scream so much.
Tell me something, PW. Have you ever been in love?
Well, I have, actually. You wouldn't think it to look at me, but I wasn't always this angry and mad at the world.
What happened to you?
My mother decided to name me Pussy Willow, and ever since that day I had to fight. Someone laugh? I heard a snicker.
No, I don't think so. Continue with your very impressive story.
Well, every day at school I'd show up and... Where's the little pussy? The little pussy here today. No, I'd say. That's not my name. It's PW. No, they'd say. It's Pussy Willow. You're just a little pussy. And then they'd beat me. Mercilessly. Put things inside me. Got very painful for me. Very sad, you see. Father then, when he died, mother began beating me herself. He just begins telling you like the saddest story ever.
But does he eventually get round to like, and then there was a girl or guy who I fell in love with and blah, blah, blah? Or does he just lay it all out? Like he's been waiting for someone
Like
to ask
Chunk in
him
the Goonies.
literally
And then in the fourth
anything
grade,
about himself.
I did this, and I made a sound. Yeah, he's like, but it all came when I met her, Matilda. She didn't care that my name was Pussy Willow. She found it sweet and sensitive. Then she died.
PW. That's all right, and you know, love comes and goes. But when you find someone who's really right for you, and I know you will, you're gonna tow their body all around this goddamn country if they ever leave your side. You don't want to be away from them for even a minute of your God-blessed life. That's why I'm towing my husband Silas around. 'Cause even though he passed away going on 20 years back, I need him in my life. I need a man like Silas to talk to me every day, tell me what he thinks about the world, and to share life with. And I tell you, PW, if you toss Bianca down this crevasse, you're gonna be removing a fine woman from this world, someone who deserves to be with Bill. I feel like if you look in your heart, you know that you can't do that to a woman. Someone who is, maybe, the greatest love of all.
And then her raccoons jump on him.
Okay. And he's like distracted. He's like, ah! And he fires. And there's another sound point. Actually, I'm going to say 2 because it's really loud.
Oh no,
And
that's
the
the
mountain,
end,
like,
right?
No, we only had 2 before.
Yeah, now you have one.
Oh,
more.
okay.
Bill, meanwhile, you're down below. What do you do? Anything?
I'm looking at this here circular thing with green light coming out of it. Is that right?
Yep.
I'm gonna poke it with my can opener.
Okay. Yeah, you go to poke it with your can opener, and the can opener like begins to pull from your hands. And
I know I need that.
give
It's
me
your
a
most
roll
prized
to see if you
possession.
can fight it.
Oh, go give that back. And okay, no, I got a 9.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
no.
it zips from your hands, and you hear it fall at the other side onto the wall.
Oh, and
As you-
I go to pick it up.
But there's 2.
You don't say.
Tell me you have a holster for your can.
Yeah, I take one of my cans of beans and I put it through.
And 2 cans of beans fall out.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god! This is incredible. This is pow. This is pow. I gotta go back up and tell
Then
her
all of
this
a
is
sudden
amazing.
you hear a gunfire from above.
This is Powell. No, and
You like scream
I
whispering.
don't even think. I just start running through the gold, trying not to make too much noise, and like start climbing back up the rope as safely as possible.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you climb back up, and you emerge just to see Mrs. Powell, like raccoons attacking
And she's like
Salt Miner.
trying to fit your pants over his PW's head.
And yeah, give me a roll to see if you can fit the pants over his head.
I'm trying so hard, but they're such little pants. 18.
Yeah, you fit them over his head, and he's loose, and he drops the gun, and he's like next to the chasm.
Yay!
And what do you
Those
do?
pants weren't fresh.
No.
Are you like pushing him? Or are you keeping him? What do you do?
No, I tie the other pant leg around him so that he's got the pants are secured and his arms are sort of trapped to his body a little bit, and the raccoons are sort of like crawling all over him, and I reach over and I start untying Blianka.
Yeah, and Blianka like sees the freedom, and she runs over to Bill's arms and like hugs him tight, and she's like, "Thank you, Miss Pow. Shh, let's get out of here." And you all begin moving out the exit of the cave.
Bill, what did you find down there in that hole?
You ain't gonna believe it, Mrs. Powell. I got 2 cans of beans.
And the 2 of you exit into the daylight as the Blakes like see you and exit, and Blake walks over and takes Salt Miner over, and he's like, this no good Nick. I can't believe he would hurt Blianka. And he turns to the 2 of you and says, "Thank you 2 so much. Thank you." And he takes a knife from his pocket, and he cuts Salt Miner's hands like loose, and he cuts the pants off of his head and drops them. He says, "Thank you for passing the friendship test." And Salt Miner's like, "I'm so happy you 2 did it." And all the Blakes erupt in like applause, and they all start tearing off their wigs and stuff.
What? What's happening?
And you see a sea of Blakes and one Englishman with like a beard who takes off his beard, and he's also a Blake, just in like heavy makeup. And Blake walks over and he's like, "Let me tell you, my name is Blake, and I found this mountain some old 10 years ago. Well, I was looking for gold. Deep down there in the chasms, I found a green glowy thing. Well, at first I thought it was maybe just some evil smoke coming up from yonder hell. But when I put something through it, my fork, 2 came out. Well, I thought, why not? And I jumped on through, and wouldn't you know it, me and this here Blake came out." He points to like Blaze Blake, who's like, "Hello." Well, we did it again, and we did it again, and we did it again, and soon we had a whole town of Blakes. And they're all like, "Hi." Well, we had enough gold. Well, we could do whatever we wanted because all we had to do was mine one piece and make as much as we could imagine. But going on 9 years, it was starting getting pretty lonely with just us. Oh, yeah, it was getting lonely, yeah. So we wanted some friends. Thought, what the heck? Put out some flyers for gold and see if anyone was willing to pass the friendship test. And I'm happy to say you two did. Come here. And all the Blakes like sort of work around you and like all hug you. It's like a sea of guys being like, "Go, did you? Not only did you help me move, and you helped get us a cactus, which we love." And there's like a murmur over the crowd. "Oh, love cactus, yeah." "But you also saved one of us, which is the biggest test of friendship. When you could have walked away with all the gold you needed, you decided instead to put a friend first. Oh, come here." And they all kind of move in again, and one more big sea of hugs. And they all sort of pass away. "So, what do you say? Will you two be our friends?"
Well, of course. I've been looking for a town kinda like this ever since I've been on the road, you see, with the Silas. I don't suppose there's room for a crotchety old woman like me here, is there?
There's more than enough room. And hell, we can make all of yous. We could make 50 versions of an old crotchety woman if we wanted to.
Oh, that's very kind of you, but where's Jeremiah?
And Jeremiah comes out, but there's two Jeremiahs.
My babies! Oh, this is wonderful.
And southbound Bill, one particular Blake walks over. "I'm sorry that it turned out that I wasn't a woman, but I think you're mighty cute," he says, and like slides back on his wig.
And southbound Bill's eyes light up. "Well, that's good enough for me. But one thing first. Do any of you happen to have a can opener? I seem to have left mine down below."
And every Blake pulls out a can opener. And we're going to end it.
Yay! Best game ever!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Best game of the Invictus stream. We have over 300 games, and that one there
This is the one.
of them all.
One horse town. Who would have thunk it? Great job, guys. You did a
love
really good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, so did you. That was fun.
Everyone did a great job.
Much,
Weirdness.
that was so much more of a fleshed out idea than I was expecting.
Oh yeah, it was. It was just, to me, I had a really clear concept where I wanted you guys to go to a town run by one person. And then at first, and I told this to Joe, I was like, I want it to be one dude playing all the roles. But then I realized it's like really flat. And I only told Joe that. So she probably had some idea. But then I was like, no. It's about a dude who like found out some weird way to clone himself so that you think it's one dude playing everybody. But really, it's just a bunch of the same guy. Just to be weird about it. And then I was like, but he wants friends, so he has to do a friendship test.
So cute.
It was pretty cute. Turned out lucky. And yeah, no, that worked out much better than I thought. Well done, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, you too. That was fun.
Light and entertaining.
Going for here.
Fucking funny too. Good job,
That was
Justin.
fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You too. You too. I had a blast with our characters. I had a blast. No pun intended. But
Fart.
I have an idea for endgame post, if I can be so bold.
Please. I
Ooh.
think that's a good idea.
My jaw literally dropped when I saw the picture that Carly had drawn.
Of the raccoons?
Well, of the raccoons and of Jeremiah sitting on the pillow.
I didn't even see it.
So cute.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
So fucking cute.
Yeah.
I would love to see if you have time, Carly, to finish that. I would love to see it, and that's one that I would
Totally agree.
frame
Endgame
myself.
post fully deserved.
So incredible.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a blast. Joe and I are off the next 2 weeks. Justin will definitely be doing something next week. The week after is still up in the air. We're going to figure it out. We may not do a stream that night. I don't know. It'd be the first time in a while we hadn't done one. But sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, so we'll find out. But we will most definitely be back, at the very least, myself and Joe, on the 12th of June. So stay tuned if you miss us, but make sure you tune in next week for Justin. That is it from us. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you again to Justin and Joe, and you, the beautiful stream. As my very good friend Justin always likes to say, all right, guys, good night.